There we go. All right, I'm unmuted now, and so are you guys, so everyone can hear you. Um, so we're all on the world map. So our campaign today takes us to Averlin, which is the central kingdom within the continent of Grand Lorien. And Averlin is an old and proud country, um, uh, mostly woodlands and farmlands, with a coast along the south. So let's zoom everybody in. Oh, that was weird. I don't know why I did that. Let's get rid of that. Stop. Okay, so this is the Kingdom of Averlin, which is where things take place. And specifically, our journey today was going to take us to the south of Averlin, which is around this area here. And our party has traveled fairly far from their original destinations to arrive here. um, so, can you all make initiative rolls for me?
Already?
Yeah, so it's just going to be to decide who arrives at the town first.
Oh boy, I got a 4.
I got a 14.
Just type them all in the Roll20 chat for me, what you get.
Got it.
And then I'll read them later, because I'm going to do a little intro for you guys while you do that. So, let's make sure that this isn't going to play something. Forgot to change that. There we go. All right, looks like... All right, we know who's coming first then. So... Why are we not starting? Can you guys hear the music?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So, deep in the heart of Averlin, the trees whisper songs of autumn. Their branches sway in the wind, attending a funeral for the passing summer season. But as the whispers fade, something more sinister sits in the air. Disappearances plague a village along the southern coast of the proud kingdom. With no one left to turn to, the Lord of Hearth sends out a plea for help, promising coin in return for results. And so we arrive with our adventurers, following the winding path through the countryside, passing farmsteads and orchards on our way. Finally, we see the fringe of forest on the horizon. The wild woods draw near and we're approaching our destination. As the town enters our vision, the redwood trees tower over us, casting a wide shadow. All that's left is to cross the stone bridge over a rushing river and set foot in Hearth. So, first to arrive is going to be Sildren. So why don't you tell us just a little bit about Sildren? It doesn't have to be backstory, just, race, general appearance.
Yeah, Sildren is a wood elf, a male wood elf, from the Everest Forest up to, or on the eastern side of Averlin, and he has left his home village wandering around in search of people to help, basically. He has a strong moral compass and looks to protect those that are captured or endangered.
All right.
And he's a druid.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, let me make you face the right way. So, you arrive in Hearthhope, the first of our party, and you were responding to some notices that were placed in various town squares throughout Averlin, seeking aid in return for coin, as they've been plagued with disappearances. So, it's around 5 in the afternoon when you finally arrive, and before you see a village that seems to be sort of nestled into the woods. It sits right at the border of where the woods begin, and kind of towering over the entire town are these massive redwood trees. And the village itself kind of sits along a bit of a rock face with many waterfalls kind of cascading throughout. So, what do you do?
I guess I'll kind of wander into town, see who this is over here.
So as you approach, you see an old-looking man in commoner's clothes, and he looks up at you as you approach, and he waves at you as you cross the bridge. And as you walk by him, he says, "Hail, traveler! Which parts are you from?"
I'm from the forest out east.
"Ah, the forest in Averlin, or the forest side of Lyrethia?"
Averlin. Do you know where I could find a place to stay?
Head to the south side of town. That's where the tavern is.
What's your name, good sir?
Most folk round here call me Old Man Everett, but Everett is my name.
Alrighty. Well, thank you.
Take care, young fellow.
And I'll, I guess, head into town in search of this tavern.
So the tavern is to the south of town.
To the south, okay.
So you cross over several more bridges, and the streams kind of cascade down the rock and head underneath those bridges. And before long, you see a building in the distance, which you can see some lights in the windows in sort of the dimming light of evening. So, next we will introduce our next character sometime later after after Sojourn arrives. Our next adventure also arrives, and that will be Hilda. So tell us something about Hilda.
She's an ex-pirate, currently looking to... Whoa. Alright, she's an ex-pirate, currently looking to form her own crew. She's a rogue.
That's fine.
And...
You don't need to say any more than that.
Alright.
Just a brief little introduction so they kind of know the class you're playing, the character's name. So Hilda, you also see this old man who is kind of resting against a cane as you begin to pass over the bridge into Hearthhope.
Okay. I walk up to him and greet him. Hello.
He greets you as well and says, hello, young lady. Another out-of-towner?
Yeah. Do you get many around here?
Not always, but we seem to be having some more of late.
Ah, good. Can you point me in the direction of the nearest hub, I guess?
Place of lodging, do you wish to stay the night?
I'll consider it.
Well, the tavern is where most folk gather on an evening like this. It's to the south of town, he points off this way.
Ah, many thanks.
Just over the bridge and you'll see it. Can't miss it.
Have a great day.
You too, young lady.
Go to the tavern.
So Siljan would already be inside. And you see that same building and open the door into the tavern. And our next character, sometime later, to arrive is going to be Norika. So tell us something about Norika.
So, Naraka is a minotaur from the Kisar Oasis. She's a very kind loudmouth barbarian.
Alright. So Norika, as you approach, the old man is still he's leaning against this house here as you cross the bridge into Hearth.
I will walk up to him and I'm going to say, "Hi there. I'm new. It's very cold around here. Do you know where I can find a place to stay for the night?"
Ah, yes. The tavern in the south of town is where most folk find lodgings on a cold evening. Are you an out-of-towner? Haven't seen you around here before.
Very much out of town. I come from a very hot place, and this is not that.
Ah, well, there's always a hearth lit in the tavern, so you'll find yourself able to warm yourself there.
I'm very grateful for that. Thank you for telling me where to go. And what's your name, by the way? I'd like to know people.
Everett, but most folk around here call me Old Man Everett.
It's very nice to meet you, old man Everett. All right, I'm gonna go get warmed up now, and you don't stay out here for too much longer, okay? You look a little shaky there. It's getting dark.
Of course, lass. He has to kind of crane his neck to look up at you, but he gives you a small wave as you head. So you can move your token yourself.
Okay. How do I? Hold on. Do I like?
So you click
I'm
and
not sure how to move it.
click and drag it, or you
I got it.
you can
Okay.
click yourself and then use your arrow keys if you want instead.
Okay, I might do that because I think my mouse is like literally broken, which is fine.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the tavern.
And last but not least to arrive, sometime later, will be Koja. And it's begun to get dark almost now as we head further into the evening. As you arrive, Koja, you see the same old man leaning against his house.
Just one thing. As I approach, would I get the vibe at all that he's like poor or homeless or anything?
Not homeless, but not affluent. He appears to just be a very basic commoner. He's not wealthy. He's not, but he's not living on the street.
All right. I'm gonna approach and I say, "Excuse me, I've come looking for work. Do you know where I would go?"
Yes, I believe you're in the right place. I think the town sent out a missive to some of the other towns for assistance. Is that what you're responding to?
Yes, sir.
Ah, that's good. That's good. We could use the assistance. What with the disappearances, we've had quite a few actually strangers approach in town today. So perhaps their goal meets yours.
See, it is getting late though. Where's the nearest tavern?
Just to the south of town, down that way, lass.
All right, thank you. And here for your trouble. And I'm going to hand him 1 gold coin before I leave.
Very kind of you.
I'm gonna head down to the tavern.
Actually, before you leave, you notice that he has like around his neck he has like a hunting horn, kind of strung on a string around his neck that kind of dangles.
All right.
Yeah, tipping the Walmart greeter. So you head down across this bridge towards the south of town, and as you cross that bridge, you see windows illuminated from a larger building further across that bridge. So, the rest are already inside, but let's follow Koja. So, Koja, as you cross the bridge, you see the tavern before you.
I'm gonna go ahead and head inside. Straight inside. It's getting dark.
You hear the soft whinnying of horses to the far end of the building, with your rather sharp ears, Koja. And then we head inside. So already inside is Siljan, Narka, and Hilda as Koja enters the door. So it's a small, not a massive tavern, but very very homey. It's decorated as though it's just the inside of somebody's home. There's a hearth lit on the far side, and a bird person holding a lute sitting on a stool in front of it. You see a couple people sitting at a table on this end, and then a few more on these ends here, and 2 women behind the bar. So let's start with the first person to enter. Siljan, what do you do?
I think I would walk over to the bar here and maybe ask about lodging.
So you walk up to the bar, and there's an older looking woman and a much younger looking woman. The older woman has a very grandmotherly look to her, and the younger woman has bright red hair, several piercings, and a very noticeable scar on one of her cheeks. They both look up at you as you enter, and the younger one says, hello, new face. What can I get you?
I'm here in town for a few weeks, looking for work, and I was wondering if you had any lodging for the night.
Yeah, it's just 2 gold per night. Are you in town responding to the missive, though?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, do you know where I can?
Lady Bailey will want to see you, but not this late at night, so might want to go and see her in the morning then.
Alright, so as my character is poor, I will be unable to afford a room, and I will just kind of turn around and just kind of awkwardly walk back out. Just leave.
Actually, hang on. As you're leaving, you bump into a young red-haired seafaring woman who is just entering the bar.
Oh, hello.
Sorry, I'm in your way.
Here. I'll move out of the way.
Oh.
Little dance back and forth.
And then I just walk past him.
Are you here for the missive?
Am I what?
Have you heard of the missive
What's
for
that?
work? Um, there's a call for help with many disappearances here for coin.
I could use some cash.
As could I.
Where do I sign up?
I heard Lady Bailey would be the one that we would be talking to.
Which one is she?
I don't know yet.
As the two of you are
I imagine
talking,
she's...
a large figure darkens the doorway and has to actually bend to walk through this doorway. And you see Norica walk in.
So Norika sees these two sort of doing like an awkward dance. And because of her large size and the fact that this tavern is not very large, I think she just kind of moves off to the side, like sort of standing behind a table, but like just politely waiting for them to move out of the way so that she doesn't have to move either of them, or that they don't have to like do a 3-person awkward shuffle.
Where's the fun in that?
Norica, you overhear a bit of their conversation as they discuss work and payment.
Scratching my chin.
And before long, as they talk, you see a fourth figure enter the tavern.
Immediately, I definitely noticed Naraka. I'm not gonna say anything yet, but she's definitely reacting very wide-eyed.
She's a brick house.
Fucking massive. But yeah, as there's a, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna move over here. Just kind of butt in. Excuse me. Just need to get past here.
You hear them discuss missives and work as you pass by.
I'm gonna head over to the bar. Excuse me.
If you're addressing the older woman, she says, "Oh, hello, Tiri. How can I help you?"
Yes, I'm looking for a room for the night.
It's 2 gold per night. Are
Do
you in town for work? I haven't seen you around here before.
I am actually. I heard about disappearances while I was up in Talus.
Lady Bailey's missive is what you're referring to, I suppose.
I would assume so.
Well, you can go and talk to her tomorrow. I imagine she'd be already in for the night.
I would be too.
But she'll handle things with you tomorrow. Would you like to stay the night here, then?
That would be nice. Do I just pay up front?
Of course. We have a room for you.
Alright, I'm gonna hand over the 2 gold.
And we have some food as well if you want to purchase that.
What do you have?
Well. Tonight we have 3 different dishes and our usual selection of drinks. For food, we have seared venison with rosemary. The trapper in the woods brought some new venison just the past week.
I'm gonna stop you there. Sold.
Oh, very eager. All right, that's just 3 gold.
I'm gonna hand that over too.
Your food will be with you right in a moment, so if you want to just throw your things upstairs and then come back down to sit at a table, we'll bring it right over to you.
She's just gonna nod, head over to the stairs then.
All right, so you head upstairs, and it's a long hallway with several different rooms. She notified you that yours. She gave you a little key as well, and notified you that yours was the first one on the left. So the rest of our party who is downstairs, as Koja brings her stuff and kind of dumps her belongings in that room. What are you up to? Hello? Children Arca Hilda? Anyone?
What?
Well, while Coach is upstairs, what do you guys do?
I guess I take a seat at this table.
I'll join.
I am going to go up to the younger woman at the bar.
She looks a little startled when she first sees you, but soon after she looks at you more in amazement than fear. As she kind of cranes her neck to look up at you. She's about half your height, especially with those horns. And she says, "Oh, hello then. You here to stay the night, or you want food?"
I'd appreciate both, but for now, I'd actually like any information you can give me on the job that I've heard so much about from all of these mysterious people gathering in one tavern.
Oh, Lady Bailey's missive, then, is what you must be referring to. But she sent it out, and you might have seen that. She's looking to pay some people to investigate the disappearances around town lately. Horrible stuff, people gone missing. And
Sounds horrible.
without a trace, really, we can't seem to find any of them. And, well, the rangers are busy, and town guard doesn't have the resources to investigate something like this, so she turned to outsiders in hopes that we'd find someone who could handle the problem.
Well, it seems like all of the people I've seen so far are a pretty ragtag bunch. They all look pretty capable, though. But it's very late, so tomorrow, where should I go to inquire about this missive?
Well, Lady Bailey sometimes walks around in the market square, so you might be able to find her there. If not, then just go to her manor. That's kind of in the north of town. It's the biggest building, nice and fancy. You shouldn't be able to miss it.
Sounds like a plan. All right, enough work talk. How much is a room? I'm tired.
2 gold for the night.
Okay, and I will hand over 2 gold for a room. So I hand her 2 gold.
She takes your gold and kind of tucks it away in a little pouch that she has at her side. Would you like some food too? You must be famished if you've been traveling far.
Very far. But I did pack a lot before I left, so I'm happy for that. But what have you got?
Well, we got
anything
we've
special
got
that you could recommend?
seared venison with rosemary, some fish stew with a side of barley, and our new rabbit soup, new recipe that Granny's cooked up for us.
I think I will try the rabbit soup.
It's really good. Won't go wrong with that. That's 3 gold.
Okay, and then I hand her the 3 gold.
Anything to drink with that? We've got ale, mead, wine. We got the health special too. Sun's Glory, we call it. It's kind of a cider, citrusy.
Huh, that sounds good. I guess I'll have a glass of that then too.
All right, that's 2 gold then.
Hand her the 2 I'm just spending all of my money. I will give you the 2 gold then.
She counts all your money and then tucks it away in a pouch. All right, well, your food will be with you in just a moment. So if you want to drop your things in your room and come back down, she'll be ready by then.
Okay, thank you very much. And she goes to go.
Before you leave, she says, yours is the one on the right, and she hands you a key. First on the right.
Here. And then I go upstairs. Yes, I grab the key.
So as you head up the stairs, they creak slightly under your weight, but the first one on the right, you hear some kind of shuffling in the room across from you, as Koja places her things in the room. So, sitting at this table, what are you guys up to?
I ask if he knows anything else about the missing people.
I don't believe I do. I just heard that they offered a coin for help investigating these missing people, these disappearances, and decided I'd come to take a look. I've been wandering around trying to help people, so thought this would be a good place to do it.
Oh,
You spend some time discussing the disappearances, but you're really kind of unable to find any conclusions or leads as to where they might be disappearing to. And after some time, Koja and Norika, you bump into each other as you both leave your room to head back downstairs.
Ugh. Oh, sorry about that.
I'm really sorry. There's a lot here to maneuver with. I'm so sorry about that.
I could tell. Don't break your bed.
I'll try my best. I might have to sleep on the floor, but I'll make it work.
bull in a china shop.
Exactly.
So
Bull in a tavern.
Bull person.
the two of you head downstairs and see several different tables with people seated at each of them now. So you can pick where you want to sit, I guess.
Well, first I'm gonna check on my food.
We'll bring it right over to you. Don't worry. Just pick a table and we'll have it right over.
Fair.
Granny's kind of preparing some stuff.
I think I'm gonna head over here. You two sure don't look like locals.
I think I would feel more comfortable with someone who is also not a local, so I'm going to join them. Fun party.
Your knees bump the bottom of the table slightly, Norika, but
It's
you
fine.
can manage to sit at this table. It's very obviously human-sized table, but
The entire table like lifts up slightly on one end.
yeah. And after introducing yourselves to the other people at this table, after a couple moments, you see the younger redheaded woman carrying two platters over. And she says, rabbit soup and seared venison.
Yes, please. Venison over here.
Rabbit over here, please.
And she places those at your respective places. So your rabbit soup is a small wooden bowl filled with piping hot liquid. Some carrots float in the soup, and some small pieces of meat and various herbs. And your seared venison is given to you on a plate and cut into with a rosemary garnish on top. Both are steaming and nice and hot, and she says, "Well, enjoy. I'll be back with your drinks." She looks towards the other two at the table, Hilda and Sildren, and says, "Would you like anything to drink or eat at all?"
I think this place is too pricey for my tastes.
Well, we got some water if
My
you want,
language.
if you're thirsty.
I'll take some water.
She says, "All right." And you? She looks at Hilda. Or she looks at the. Sorry, Sildren,
Yeah.
rather.
I just ordered.
New voices. I sometimes mix them up. I'll get
It's
it
okay.
eventually.
I'll pass, and I'll pull out. I'll cast Goodberry and offer one to Hilda.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
This should provide you sustenance for the night.
So
You
Anji,
just have those in your pocket?
I can use Arcane Focus, right, to replace the mistletoe. Is that correct? Or
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
But you would be using a spell slot for this.
Correct.
So you can check those off on D&D Beyond, the little boxes. So just make sure you keep track of those. All right. So you cast Goodberry and hand her a small berry.
Yep. I'll give her. I'll make 10, and I'll hand 2 to her,
All right.
and keep the rest for myself.
I appreciate it.
So the redheaded woman heads back over to the bar with your order. And as you kind of sit there, Norika and Koja beginning to eat, the Kenku behind you, which it is a Kenku, begins to kind of strum at the lute and slowly begins to sing as you eat. Continue with your conversation. You don't have to be interrupted by this. And before long, the redheaded woman comes back to your table with your drinks and says, "All right, one sun's glory," and hands it to you, Narka.
Looks great.
And some water too, and hands that to you.
I graciously accept.
Sildren, you recognize the language the Kenku bard is singing in. It is Elvish.
So I'm able to understand what she's, or I can't. Do I know the gender?
You don't know the gender of the Kenku, but
Okay. Do I understand what it's saying?
yep. The song is about a woman with black hair and violet eyes.
I'm gonna turn to Naraka and ask her if she's heard anything about the work or if she knows anything more about it than what I do.
Noraka turns kind of mid-thought because she knows a bit of Elvish, having picked it up from various merchants and the like in the Oasis, and she is just thinking, and she says, I'm not from around here, I don't know much either. It's a good song though.
Yeah,
Good
very
tune.
good.
I'm enjoying it. Pairs very well with this rabbit. It's very good. Does anyone want to try some? I have a lot. I don't eat that much for my size. Does anyone want to try some? Seriously, it's really good.
I'm good.
Okay. Well, you can take me up on that offer whenever. Anytime I have food, please. Someone take some. I swear, you're gonna love anything that I have. It's great.
So swallowing, Koji's gonna kind of gesture to Sildron and Naraka and be like, I could tell you two weren't from around here. I know what it looks like when somebody's comfortable in a tavern.
Quite chatty for someone of your size, huh?
It's a little hard, and then, like, everybody should focus on the fact that, for emphasis, the table is so much higher on where she's sitting than everybody else. Like, her thighs are, like, pressing up against the top of the table, and she's like, yeah, I think you guys should, it's obvious. I feel really, really claustrophobic, but it's okay. It's fine.
Wouldn't some of her soup be spilling?
It manages to hold within the bowl, but there's a couple droplets running down the side of the wooden bowl.
Everything is slightly tilted.
So in the background, the bard finishes their song. You hear kind of casual conversations from other patrons around the bar as you begin to talk. So, is there anything you would like to do?
Is there anyone sketchy? Or anyone that looks sketchy in the tavern?
Just off to this end of the tavern, there's a halfling who seems to be eyeing everybody else in the bar. The two men on this end here are drinking, and the dwarven fellow, the shorter one with red hair, is loudly laughing. And the two men here, an older looking kind of grizzled man and a younger but still kind of middle-aged looking man with kind of affluent looking clothing, sit just kind of quietly talking. So if you would like to talk to anybody, you can, or you can head off to sleep.
Sick. Just, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm
Anybody else
gonna
want to do
get
anything?
up and go
The rooms
see
here are
what
2
this.
gold a night, right?
Sorry, what?
The rooms here are 2 gold a night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would anyone happen to be able to spare 2 gold?
Naraka, in the middle of the sentence, grabs her bag of gold and like thrusts it just out, and it's like, "I have money, please. If you need some, take as much as you need, please, please. Anyone sitting here, everybody, take some. I have too much, please."
Hilda
Overly
throws up her
generously.
hand in defense, like, whoa, okay.
This is not a reverse robbery. You don't have to take my money, but if you need it, please. I'm willing to share.
She shakily sticks her hand in and pulls out 2 gold. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you get a room with that because everybody deserves to sleep somewhere nice. My life motto.
A very
She-
wordy motto.
It is very wordy. I don't actually use it that often. And then Noraka goes back to eating soup. Very slowly.
So anybody
gonna,
else? Yeah, go ahead.
Get up and walk over and see what this person's about. I'm gonna say hello.
His eyes follow you for a moment, as you walk across the room towards him. He has a look of amusement, perhaps, as you approach him and stand in front of his table. And after you greet him with hello, he responds in a language you don't understand. And then he pauses for a moment and then says, well, hello to you then.
Brings you
In
to this
common.
tavern this fine evening.
Just like the environment.
Do you know anything about the disappearances that have been occurring?
Disappearances, that's not really my field of work, but I have heard that they've been happening around this town. You see, I'm not a native, but I have heard stories about it.
What's your field of work?
Well, you know, this and that, odd jobs.
I'm going to cool. Well, it was nice to. Oh, can I catch your name? What was that? Or what was your name?
The name's Iago. Nice to meet you as well.
My name's Sildren.
Well-
And I'm gonna just kind of like abruptly walk or get up and just kind of walk out.
Well, have a good night to you then, I suppose.
And I'm gonna go outside and walk over to the horses.
Alright.
Wrong person.
Here you go. She was just there from
Alright.
last time.
So I'm gonna just kind of wander over to the horses and I'm gonna just cast Speak with Animals.
Ritual cast or normal cast?
I'm gonna normal cast it.
Alright, that'll use a spell slot then.
Yep.
Alright, so that's both your spell
And I'm
slots.
gonna. It's okay. We're gonna be sleeping. It'll be fine. And I'm gonna just strike up a conversation and ask them how they're being treated.
The horses don't speak to you in like a very fluent language. They are rather simple creatures. So
Okay.
they refer to themselves in like the third person and says, the white one says, "Penny treated well."
Have you seen anything strange around? Anything strange about?
not many apples around lately. That's pretty strange.
I, yeah. And I will try and give it one of my good berries. One for each of the horses.
It kind of, you hold your hand out to hand it to it, and it just kind of picks it up and eats it.
Alright.
Tasty berry.
Thank you, friend. I hope I'll be speaking to you again sometime later. And I'll just kind of head off. I'm gonna look. Yeah,
Go
sorry.
ahead, go ahead. It just kind of whinnies as you walk away.
Alright. I'm gonna just kind of look for a tree or someplace I could just kind of camp for the night
There's a tree on the other end of the river down south.
down south. Alright, I will cross the river and just basically set up a bedroll under the tree and just kind of.
It's not super deep where you are, so it would only reach kind of just above your ankles to wade through.
Alright,
The rocks are kind of slippery, but you manage to cross it without falling.
cool. And then I'm gonna just go to sleep.
All right. Back inside the bar. Sorry, there's a sign out front as well. I should have told you the name of it. This is the Lord and Lion Inn. So back inside, what are you guys up to?
I shove the berries into my mouth and get up and go over to the bar.
The red-haired woman looks up at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I'd like a room for the night.
That's 2 gold.
I hand her the 2 gold that I got from Naraka.
As she tucks it away in her pocket, she says, "Are you in town for work like the rest then?"
Well, not really. I'm just visiting, I suppose. But I have heard of the work, and I am interested.
Well, the others are probably going to go visit Lady Belly tomorrow. You might want to tag along if you are looking to get in on it.
I suppose I will.
Right, your room's the second one on the right then. She hands you a key.
I take the key and thank her for the room. And I go into it.
So it's a small sized room like the rest. Just a bed, a simple dresser, to place some clothing in, and a little desk with a chair. Humble lodgings, but comfortable. So downstairs, Norika and Koja, what are you up to?
Sure.
So-
After she finished. Oh, no,
Oh.
you go.
You can go, it's fine.
Well, after she finishes, she's gonna stand up and stretch and say, "Well, I'm beat. I don't know about the other two, but I'll see you in the morning.
Hopefully. We're probably going to the same place.
It'll be easier to look. See you later." I'm gonna head upstairs.
Alright, so as you're heading upstairs, Noriko, what are you up to?
So I'm going to take the dishes from the food having finished and bring them back over to the bar area and set them down with just set them down very casually. It is very obvious that she has put money in this dish and is like, "Hey, here's my dishes, thanks for the meal," and it's a tip, but not well done at all. You know how some people put money underneath napkins or something to be like, "Ah, surprise." She's trying to do that, but it's not working, just out of sheer how she is. So
Alright.
she's like, "Thanks," and puts it down, and she's winking, and she slides it towards the younger woman.
She says, "I hope you enjoyed the meal. I didn't catch your name. My name's Abigail."
I did enjoy the meal. My name's Naraka. It's very nice to meet you.
It's
I
nice to meet
really
you.
like the place, even though I'm a little too big for it. But that's not a problem because I don't live around here, so I wouldn't expect it to be made for me. But I really, really enjoyed the food, and I'm very happy with the whole place and the room. The room's nice too.
I'm glad you like the Lord and Lion. It's our pride and joy. Apologies for it is made for humans, but so sorry for you forcing you to kind of bend down a bit, but
Oh no, not at all. I don't mind. You know, gotta get the squats in daily. Helps keep the legs strong. Don't mind.
I can tell.
Well, I am headed upstairs, but thank you very much again for the food. And she goes to walk away upstairs.
Have a good night, she says as you walk towards the stairs. But as you reach the stairs, you can kind of see Koja still walking up them. As you kind of reach the stairs, you hear several blasts from a hunting horn in the distance. Sildren, you hear this from under your tree as well. The man on the far end of the room here like stands up very suddenly and kind of he begins to limp towards the door. But as he limps past you, Norika, he looks you up and down and sees that you have sort of like adventurer's clothing, and says, "Can you fight?"
Very well.
And he sees Norika kind of heading up, or Koja heading up the stairs too, and says, "Are you there? Are you in town for work as well?" Hilda, you can hear this from upstairs.
I poke my head out my room door.
All right, then you can hear this conversation going on. So Koja, he's talking to you. So he's asking you if you're in town for work as well.
Oh yeah.
You accompany me then. I fear the worst.
I'll catch you two outside. Let me get my sword from my room.
Understood. He looks at you, Norika, and says, "If you have weapons, make sure you bring them as well."
Naraka nods and goes to grab her stuff out of her room as well.
He continues to limp towards the doorway. The halfling man on the other side of the room just kind of averts his gaze.
Suspicious, suspicious.
So you gather your equipment from your room and then head back down the stairs. I'm assuming all three of you. How are you joining them?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm beat, but gold is gold. I'm gonna rush outside.
The door is still slightly ajar as you. The man didn't bother to close it. As you head back out into the night. It's much darker than it was before. Actually, no, he wouldn't have been there. So you head back out into the night. Sildren, you hear the door kind of slam open from under your tree. Oh, you're out of here. You're way down here. And you see an old man kind of hobble off towards the north. And then a couple minutes later, you see the three fellows you talked to at the table all also leave the tavern.
When I see them leave, I'm gonna just kind of pack up my things real quick and chase off after them.
All right. You wade off across the river again then.
Mm-hmm.
Over here. So the three of you, where are you headed?
I'm gonna follow that old man.
I'm doing the same. I assume we headed north.
I'd follow the old man as well.
I actually kind of hang back a little bit and wait for Sildren to catch up.
Understood. So you head across that bridge again, and before long you see off to your right, you see the old man who told you to accompany him. He's ducking down behind this house here. Koja and Sildren. Nope, just Sildren. Oh no, Koja as well. Koja and Sildren, you see a figure off in the distance, cloaked in shadow but still visible. The old man kind of motions you to approach him and kind of gives you the stay down gesture, telling you to kind of stay low to the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna try and sneak over to the old man.
The shadowy
Same.
figure doesn't seem to notice you.
I try and jump the river.
It's not a very long river, so you'd be able to do that
Awesome.
without really making any sort of check. Norco, what do you do?
Takes the bridge as stealthily as possible for a large minotaur to do stealthily.
Clop, clop.
Yeah,
clop.
literally just climbing.
Yeah,
across
those
the
hooves on a
bridge.
stone bridge are gonna require a stealth check.
Yeah.
So make a stealth check
Okay.
for me.
Give me 1 second.
I was waiting for this.
I got a 17.
That'll do it. All right, you managed to make it here then, next to the old man, without
Okay.
anyone being alerted to your presence.
Surprisingly.
The old man, as you approach and kind of huddle up next to him, he says, "Did you see that? Shapes in the night."
I just saw a dude. What's going on?
I didn't see anybody. Why are we out here?
Yeah, why are we hiding?
And then I'll ask him if he knows what it. Or do you know what it is?
I'm not sure. I only just saw silhouettes. Perhaps your eyes are sharper than mine.
Was I able to tell what it was, other than it was just a figure?
So it was a rather short-looking figure, but it actually looked like it was riding something else. But the figure itself it looked like basically a small, maybe only like 3 foot tall humanoid riding a animal that looks to be about the size of maybe a Labrador retriever, like a large dog.
Small horse.
I'll peek out and see if I can get closer to investigate, still moving quietly and seeing if I can just get close enough to tell what it is.
You can definitely tell, but at this range, you're gonna have to make a stealth check.
Alright, let me... That's gonna be a 9.
All right. You see the figure, pointed ears, green, long-nosed, spin towards you to face you. And the creature that it's on begins to kind of snarl. And everybody roll initiative. You can roll it on D&D Beyond, and then just post it in the chat so I can see it.
Not bad.
Yeah, those are pretty good rolls. Alright, Hilda, what do you do? You hear a snarling from beyond the building that you're sitting at. What do you do?
I peek out.
On which end? You can move yourself. Just keep in mind your movement you'll be using for that.
Yeah.
And you can walk through allies. So
I peek out and I can see this thing now, right?
at this distance, yes.
Alright.
You can't quite make it out quite as well as Soljin can, but you can definitely see a shape out there.
Okay. I guess I'll move up next to Sildren.
All right.
And that's it.
Okay. Then that brings us to Koja's turn.
Quite sure what's going on, but I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna like try and I'm gonna move around the house while it's kind of paying attention to them. I think this is about 30 feet.
Hang on, 1 second. We gotta resolve something. So Koja, as you reach here, you bump into another figure much closer. This one is also riding what appears to be a wolf. You can see at this distance.
Okay, that's not good. Would I be able to tell at all if it's hostile?
The wolf is snarling at you, and the small figure, which appears to now be a goblin, you can see at this distance. It's wearing kind of a headdress of sorts, and it raises its hands at you as you walk. As you turn the corner, it seems startled by your sudden appearance, and it raises its hands because it readied an action. So you see its hands kind of begin to glow as it shoots fire out of them. Sparks ignite from its hands.
Do I make a save or anything?
1 moment, I'll handle it. So make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. 30. That is a 19.
All right. So a blast of flame comes shooting out of its hands. But you manage to dodge out of the way. What do you do?
I'm gonna look over. First, I'm gonna look over at Narok and be like, "We've got goblins."
Good to know.
Then I'm gonna try peeking around the corner and throwing my dagger at it.
All right. Then make that attack roll. It's well within your range.
Nat 20.
All right.
Nice.
Then that'll hit, and then if you're using D&D Beyond, it'll roll the crit for you.
All right. 7 damage.
All right. So you peek your head around the corner, and then whip your dagger right at that goblin that just shot fire at you. And the dagger lodges right kind of into its stomach, and you hear it kind of yelp in pain. And you can see like a stream of blood leaking from where you lodged that dagger right in his stomach. Anything else?
And I'm gonna my turn there.
All right. Then next is Soljin's turn.
I'm going to run over here, which I believe is 25 feet, and I'm going to hit it with Shillelagh. or I'm gonna use my bonus action to shillelagh,
Okay.
and then smack it with my staff.
One moment. Actually, so can you just retrace where you walked for me?
Yeah. How do
Um,
I draw the arrow? Sorry.
so when you pick up your token like this to move it around, so you were right here, right?
Yeah.
As soon as you pick it up, like holding down click, if you hit Q, it'll appear like that. See?
Yeah, I was gonna walk like this and then
And then,
over.
actually, here, I'll show everybody this. I'm just gonna do it one more time. If you hit Q and then Q again, it'll put points in your travel like that. And then when you let go, it'll move that path.
Okay.
So you can kind of like turn corners like that while still measuring your distance. So just draw it one more time for me. There you go. So as you cross this open gap here, you see a third goblin also riding what appears to be a wolf. And then you see, lying down on the ground motionless, you see what appears to be Old Man Everett. Alright, continue with your turn.
Yeah. Alright. So I'm gonna roll attack for shillelagh.
So Shillelagh, yeah, you apply with a bonus action.
So that's a 17 to hit.
That hits. Sildren, can you bump your mic maybe in
Yeah.
Discord a little bit? Or just talk a little louder or something? Because I think you're the only person who seems a little bit quiet.
Is that better?
Should be a little bit better,
Yeah.
Okay. So that's 10 points of damage.
Alright. So you rush past this goblin and just clobber him over the head with Shillelagh, and with a solid crack, that goblin falls off its mount and lies motionless.
I'm gonna yell over to Hilda that Old Man Everett's over here, down.
The wolf below, as the goblin falls off, the wolf still snarls at you.
Alright.
Norka, you hear, and Hilda, everybody, you hear Sildren's voice yell that Old Man Everett's over here.
And then that'll end my turn, I think.
Gotcha. Alright, that brings us to Norka. Very good initiative rolls, everybody.
Okay, so we're behind like a house, right? Like where I'm standing is
Yep.
like behind a
You
house?
can't see anybody from where you are right now.
Okay, how sturdy does this house look?
It is made of stone.
Like the roof specifically.
It's shingles, probably not very sturdy.
Would it be able to hold my weight if I stood on top of it?
Likely not.
That sucks.
I like the creativity there.
Yeah, I was gonna go on the roof, but it's sad. It's fine. Okay. I think I'm going to go. No. I want to help the old man, but I'm thinking really hard right now. This is more brain power than I have to use ever. Give me 1 second.
That's okay.
thinking really hard.
Take your time.
I had this whole thing, and then I was like, oh man.
It's alright. It happens.
It happens.
Ah. I'm just a little bit inside. Okay, I am going to go around the front of the house this way, like this way.
If you click, you can ping stuff by just holding down click. But you can also,
Okay.
when you pick up your token to move, you can do the Q thing that'll show us all. But yeah, it's just you can just move and show us where you go.
Okay, yeah, my mouse is like broken on this computer, so it's really
Sorry.
hard for me to click and move things.
Then yeah, use the arrow keys then if that's better for you.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
so each one of these squares is 5.
Yep, that'll always be the case. Always, one
Okay.
square will always be 5 feet.
So I'm gonna move here. I think that's 30 if I did it correctly.
So you were 1.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move to the front of the house. I
Okay.
just take out the great axe. I'm not gonna do anything else. Just like, I guess, ready for an attack.
All right. As you approach, you see this goblin here, who is kind of startled to see someone of your size. As you are, him by himself is about at your knee level. So he's startled to see such a large figure.
I'm surprised I hid behind the house as well as I did.
Yeah, the house is only about everybody else. The house was quite tall, but to you, the house is only about a foot below, or a foot above your height. So you were almost to the top of that house. And the goblin looks startled to see you round the building, and its wolf begins to snarl at you. But the goblin himself turns his attention and says something you don't understand to its wolf, a command. And the wolf is going to bite down hard on Old Man Everett.
No. Since I moved 30 feet, can I do anything else, or?
You can do an action if you have one, but you kind of ended your turn, so.
Yeah, okay. I will just...
So essentially, yeah, you have your movement, which is not an action, and then you have an action, and then you have any bonus actions. So movement is not.
Oh, okay. I thought that movement was an action.
No, sorry. Any
Okay.
extra movement, so like dashing and stuff like that, that would use up your action. But just your 30 feet of movement is not an action.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Clarify, yeah, but you did technically end your turn, so I'm gonna move on. But
Yeah, it's fine.
just for the future, to clarify that.
Yep, got it.
Okay, so the wolf bites down on Old Man Everett and does 4 damage. You see it sink its fangs kind of into his rib cage, and you see kind of a pool of blood on his clothing as the wolf bites down hard. And then the goblin is going to pull out a bow and shoot at you, Norika. And Norika, Barbarian, only 13 AC, that hits. And Norika, you are also going to take 4 damage.
Okay.
As a arrow whizzes through the night and lodges right in your shoulder.
Got it. Hurts a little bit. A lot bit, but it's okay.
Which is going to bring us back to Hilda.
Alright, so. Wait, what? Oh. Okay. I go here. Right next to the goblin, and I attack it with my short sword.
Alright, make your attack roll.
How do I do that?
So on D&D Beyond, you'll have under your actions, you'll have your short sword there, and then you click the hit, which is the +5, and that'll roll it for you. And then I'll tell you if you hit or not. If you hit, then you roll the one beside it, which is your damage.
Alright.
Handles all the rolls for you, which is nice and convenient.
Oh, nat 20.
Really?
+5.
All right. Then yeah, so that'll be a 25. That'll definitely hit. So D&D Beyond handles crits for you, so it'll roll 2d6 + 3 for you if you click that damage.
Oh, sweet. I see that. Nice. And that is a 9 total.
All right. You rush up to that goblin, and do you want to tell us how you kill him? Because you sink your sword in there.
I try to cut off his head.
All right. Then you cleanly slice right across his neck, and his head topples to the ground next to you. And
Nice.
the body kind of slumps off of the warg mount that it has.
Awesome. And I have a 2-weapon fighting bonus action.
If you use a light weapon, then you do, and you used your short sword, which is a light weapon, so yes.
Alright. I'm gonna use my rapier.
So your rapier is not a light weapon, so you can't use that as your bonus.
I can't? It says...
It's not light.
Oh, a different light. Okay, yeah, never mind.
If you had like a dagger or something, that would be where you'd use it. Typically the combo is either rapier for more damage or short sword to get an additional attack, so you kind of have to pick between them.
Ah, okay. Can I take out my dagger?
You can stow or unsheath something. But you currently have an empty hand because you're just wielding your short sword, yeah?
Yeah.
Then yeah, you can use your action to, or use your bonus action to, or free rather, to unsheath that dagger.
Okay. And can I use that now?
No, because that would be your bonus.
Ah, okay.
But next turn you'll be able to do the short sword combo with it.
Okay, cool.
Just something to keep in mind in the future, which weapons you have out, because the short sword is the one that combos with the dagger, and the rapier by itself does more damage, so just kind of keep that in mind.
Alright.
Koja, pay attention to that too, because that applies to you as well. Okay, so that'll end your turn, which will bring us to... seeing that Koja managed to nimbly dodge out of the way of its fire blast, this goblin is going to turn in a different direction and run away from you, Koja. It's going to kind of move to about partially way across the bridge, and then it's going to spin around on its mount and fire off a firebolt at Norica. So Norica, as you're focusing on this goblin and old man Everett in front of you, you see out of the corner of your eye a bolt of fire come flying at you. And that hits. You take 3 damage as a bolt of fire hits your either shoulder, kind of singeing your clothing and burning you.
I feel like I'm the only one getting hit right now.
Biggest
It's
target.
a big target, I understand.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you are the biggest target.
With like a really low AC as well.
But you also have the most health, so if anyone's gonna get hit, it should probably be you.
It should probably be me, yes.
You are the tank. And that is gonna be the end of its turn. Which brings us to Koja.
I'm gonna run around the corner and using vicious mockery, I'm gonna yell, "Hey, ugly! I still need my dagger back!"
At that one?
Yeah, the one with the headdress.
Understood. So that'll be a wisdom save on its part.
Yeah, with a 12 wisdom save.
Yep. Let me just double check its wisdom. It rolled a 19, so it's gonna pass that.
And well, I think that's about all I could do.
All right.
I guess I could use the rest of my movement. I moved like, I don't know, I'll just say there. I'm on its tail.
All right. You're kind of around the corner slightly because it is on a bridge, but you're within attacking distance with a weapon. But to actually move to follow, you'd have to move up here first. Unless you want to jump off that cliff.
I don't have any other actions, do I?
You have action, 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 action. Yeah, all your stuff is actions, so no.
Yeah, then I'm done.
All right. Soldrin, your turn. There's still a wolf in front of you, don't forget.
Yeah. Is this guy here still alive?
No,
Or is it
sorry,
just the
sorry.
wolf?
He got his head cut off, just the wolf.
Cool.
Let me X him out. I forgot to X him out. There you go.
I'm gonna attempt. Can I try and tame the wolf, or like I don't know.
So you'd have to use an ability to be able to do that, as it is hostile to you.
Okay.
I don't think you have anything that you can do as a first
Alright.
level druid, so no.
Yeah. As I don't want to kill it, I'm going to just run. I can't run through here, right? Because there are wolves still there.
Through here, you mean?
Where the dead guy is.
Yeah, there's a wolf here. Like, basically, the dead guys are taking the place of the wolf.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna run here.
So as you run away, this wolf is not going to extend you the same courtesy that you extended it, and it's going to try to bite at your ankles as you run away from it.
Very well.
Okay, a nat 20, so it's going to hit. But they don't crit, so you don't have to worry about that. It's going to do 4 damage to you as it kind of sinks its teeth into your calf.
Alright.
So you take 4 damage, but you are still free to move, as it doesn't latch on or anything like that.
Alright. I will move. How many feet do I have left? I moved 5 there, right? 5 to get to where I was.
Yeah,
when
so
it
you
attacks
move
me?
diagonal like that. 5.
Yeah. Okay.
But it would attack you kind of here, so you're here actually. Sorry. So you move 10 feet, or yeah, 10 feet to get here.
Alright. And then I'll just move the remaining 15 feet, sorry.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use
This
Produce
wolf
Flame.
here is too focused on Hilda, and it's gonna kind of ignore you as you run by it.
I'm still within attack range of it.
Sorry,
aren't
yeah. If you moved, you're in attack range. If you moved here, that's where you would have taken an attack of
Yeah.
opportunity.
I? And then I'm gonna use Produce Flame and try and hit this goblin that appears to be running away.
This one,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Then make your attack roll. Then
That's a 24 to hit.
that'll hit. Roll your damage.
5 points of damage.
It is a goblin pyromancer, so it's gonna have that damage rounding down.
Alright.
So it's gonna take 2. But you do hit it square in the chest.
And then that'll end my turn, I think.
All right, Norika, you're up. You got
So
2 wolves
that's a wolf, yes.
and a pyromancer on your right.
I think the wolf near the old man is pretty much covered right now, so I'm going to go for this wolf here, the one on the left.
Mhm.
So let me move super fast. So here, and then I'm going to try and hold on, let me check what type of damage. Slash at it with my great axe.
All right.
So,
The great axe comes out, everyone.
yep, of
Oh,
course.
boy.
That's a D12 plus 3, everybody, if she hits.
Yeah, well, I rolled a 7, so I don't think it is.
It does not. You swing at this wolf, but it managed to kind of nimbly dodge out of the way, and your axe instead meets the soft grass instead, carving
Lift that
a
one.
slice as you pull it back out.
Not used to
Baraka's
fighting
not
something
doing
so
well.
small.
She comes in, gets injured, and then just completely just whoop misses.
Anything else?
What else can I do? Because I missed. Can I?
So
Oh,
you have
wait.
2-weapon fighting, but you're using your great axe right now, which is two-handed, so you can't use that.
Yeah.
You haven't
I didn't
hit,
hit,
so you
so-
can't use hammering horns.
Yeah.
You can enter rage though.
Hmm.
Which will give you advantage on strength checks, saving throws, +2 damage, resistance to a bunch of different things. But you
Okay.
would be able to cast spells, but I don't think that's a problem for Norka.
Yeah, I don't have any spells yet. So yes, I'm going to evoke
But
rage.
also,
think.
hang on. I just want to
Yes. Wait.
finish talking
Yep.
about rage.
Speak.
So rage ends early, right?
Mhm.
If you get knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked something or taken any damage since then.
Well, I'm probably gonna take.
Since your last turn. So it wouldn't apply this turn, but it'll apply if by your next turn, if you end without having taken damage or attacking anything, then that's when it would
I'm
end.
probably going to take damage.
So it's like a blood
So-
frenzy in which when you activate it, you want to go either take some damage or hurt some people. Otherwise, it's gonna fall off.
Then I will not evoke it right now. Maybe later.
I think it would be fine to invoke it if you. I don't think judging by that, but it's up to you, of course. It will give you resistance against piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning.
Yeah, might as well. Why not? Okay. Then I will enter rage.
All right, you let out a howl and get real mad.
Out of embarrassment. It's
Out of
just sheer embarrassment.
Pure embarrassment at your own miss.
Yeah. Like, oh, I whipped that so bad. I'm gonna beat your ass because of it.
Alright. That's gonna bring us
Once I
to
finally hit you, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt real bad, buddy.
that brings us to actually the wolf's turn in front of you. But it's gonna see that massive great axe land right next to it. It's gonna look at the corpse of the rider that was giving it orders, and then it's gonna look at the how tall are you? 8 feet?
Hold on. I think I'm taller than
She's
that.
9'2", everybody. She's 9'2".
Oh, 9'2", yeah.
It's gonna look at the 9-foot tall,
Jesus.
furious looking minotaur, and it is gonna try to book it. So do you make an attack of opportunity as it runs?
Can I do that?
Yep. You still.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. You invoked rage, right? You still have your reaction. Yep. So you go ahead and make it then.
So, as an opportunity attack, do I just
A normal attack.
roll like I would with a normal attack?
Yep.
Okay.
With whatever weapon you have equipped.
Does a nat 20 plus 5 hit with
Oh,
the
yeah.
great axe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So-
that's 4 nat 20s, everybody.
Slice it in half.
So let's see the damage. That is 20 damage.
All right. This wolf tries to run away from you, but you pick your great axe back up off the ground and spin around to sink it into its back and just kind of cut it clean in half. It lets out a little yelp and then stops moving.
Oh, that's really sad, but can't help it. It makes up for literally everything else. Like, takes damage, whiffs it, and then just immediately cuts a wolf in half.
Now there's a woe and an oaf.
God damn, that one took me a second.
All right, so that's gonna prematurely end that wolf's turn. Which is gonna bring us to this wolf, which is gonna take one look at that wolf getting cut in half and is also gonna try to book it. So, Hilda, first make an attack of opportunity if you want.
Oh, I was gonna try and pet it. Damn. Part of me wants to try and befriend it, but the other part of me wants to see if I could cut it in half too. Yeah, why not?
So you're gonna make an attack of opportunity then to make your attack.
Alright. What do I roll for that again?
So just your short sword if that's what you're attacking with. That's what you have equipped, so probably.
Yeah, alright.
So it's just one attack. And that's using your reaction for this round essentially. But
Okay.
you don't have really anything else to do with your reaction, so it's not a big deal. So just make a normal attack like that. Roll your to hit, then roll your damage if I say you hit.
Alright, 15.
That'll hit.
Alright, and 5.
5 damage. Okay. So that wolf, you slice at it and kind of catch it on the hind leg, but it's still alive.
Oh.
It's still alive.
Oh, that's so bad.
So it's gonna continue to run. Sildren, do you make an attack of opportunity?
I am not going to make an attack of opportunity. I'll let it run.
All right. Then. Hang on one sec. Let's just make sure. It's going to move. Out here, Koja, do you make an attack of opportunity?
Nah.
Alright. Then the wolf continues to run in that direction. Past the pyromancer, who you see his eyes kind of follow it, Koja, as it runs away. And then it kind of scans the rest of the group. It's looking a little nervous now. So Hilda, it is now your turn.
Alright. Let's see. Oh wait, Q. Alright. I go over in front of the goblin and I hit it.
Short sword?
Yep.
Alright, make your attack roll.
Nat 20.
Alright, roll damage. Jesus, what are they putting in these dice?
Who loaded my digital dice?
10.
Alright. Then you make another slice right across that goblin's chest. It wasn't really expecting that to happen. It was focusing on the rest of the group, and it looks taken aback by that. And you open up a new wound across its chest, and it begins to bleed. But it's
Nice.
still alive.
And since I have my dagger out now,
Then you can make your additional attack as a bonus action.
alright.
But I believe it's without your modifier.
How do I do that then?
Just let me double check. Hang on. Just to the damage, sorry. So you make your dagger attack. Oh hell, you don't have it equipped. I'll equip it for you. You might have to refresh, but you have your dagger there. So that's just,
Okay.
it's the same +5.
Okay. Ah, it got stuck in the corner. I thought I was gonna get another nat 20. 19.
Alright. That'll hit. Roll damage. Without that modifier to clarify, so just a d4.
Oh, okay. So 3.
Okay. So you open another wound in its chest and then follow up with a dagger strike and stick it right into its side. And it lets out a cry of pain, but it is still alive.
Not into the wound that I just opened?
Sorry, what?
Not into the wound I just opened?
What do you mean?
Like, I cut with my short sword,
Mhm.
and then I used the dagger.
But
Can
it
I
didn't. It
jam
didn't
it?
do lethal damage, so you
Oh,
you
okay.
kind of.
Yeah.
I describe it based on like if you did lethal damage versus how much damage you did. Essentially, is how severe I make the wound sound.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it's still alive. So you just kind of lodge that dagger in its side. Are you pulling that
Nice.
dagger back out? I'm assuming
Yeah.
probably. Okay. You didn't throw it like Koja, so. All right. So that'll be your turn then. Which brings us to its turn. And it is going to once again. Okay. Both of you make dex saving throws as it reaches its arms out. Both hands out in front of it, and they begin to glow.
12. Ugh.
14.
So Hilda, you dodge, but Koja, you're gonna take this damage.
Wee.
So Hilda, yeah, you kind of dodge off in a direction. Koja, you take 2 plus 3, you take 5 damage. And then seeing that all of its allies are pretty much dead, it's the other wolf that is allied with it is running away. It sees that the tide has kind of turned out of its favor, and it is going to attempt to run.
Hey, my dad!
What was that?
I didn't hear
I
that.
did my best to make it sound like I was far away.
Oh.
I see. So I believe you guys have used your reactions for this round. So I think he's gonna get away scot-free. So you see that goblin and this wolf. Sorry, no, that was silly. You see this goblin turn him for it and run for it. And he kind of disappears off into the night.
And if you ever come back, we'll kill ya.
Alright, Koja, it's now your turn.
It seems like the threat's over, so I'm gonna move over here and see how the old man's doing.
Yeah, the only thing left alive is the wolf that's running away.
So I'm gonna kind of walk over and shake Everly like, hey, old guy, you all right?
Make a medicine check for me.
Okay, medicine. That is 14.
So you can very clearly see that he has a large wound along his rib cage, several teeth marks embedded into there. You can see a pool of blood forming, and he seems to be unconscious.
This is
But he
not
lets out
looking
a
good.
light moan every once in a while. So that kind of inspection would be your action.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Which will bring us to Siljin.
I'm going to take out a good berry and see if I can heal him up a bit.
Okay, so you can
Provide
kind of.
1 point of healing.
Alright. You can kind of press the good berry into his mouth and kind of help him chew. And he seems to be able to swallow it, as he's not really responding, but he's not outright dead. And he seems a little bit better, but still bleeding.
Alright, and then that's my actions, so I think that'll end my turn.
Okay. Naraka?
Did the wolf run away? Last
It was trying to run away, but it still hasn't moved yet, so
Like all the way over there? Oh, Jesus.
it is this one here, yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna count really fast. Okay, so I am going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that moving to it is 55 feet. I want to dash as well, like add that to my movement roll. That's only 50. Okay. Well, I want to add that to my movement, so I'm going to go up to the last wolf, and as a bonus action, because I dashed and went 20 feet extra, I'm going to do a goring rush at the wolf. do I need to roll like to see whether it hits or not as well?
Yep. So it's like making
Okay.
a horn attack, which you have there in
Got
your
it.
action. So it's a +5 in the
So-
d6.
That's bad. I rolled a 9. Cry.
So
I don't
that'll
think-
miss.
Yeah. Darn. It's gonna be so cool if it did.
The wolf
It's fine.
running away hears your hooves clatter on the bridge behind it, and it manages to spin around just in time to quickly dodge out of the way of your very sharp horns.
So sad. You must have lived
So
in like
sad.
Spain or something.
So is that your turn then?
Yeah, because I did that in the dash and then a bonus action. So yeah.
Okay. Then that'll bring us to the wolf's turn, and it is going to still attempt to run away. So do you make an attack of opportunity on it?
Yes.
I assumed so.
So let's see if that hits. Does a 10 hit?
No.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. Alright, well, whiffed that one, I guess.
You clumsy oaf.
So after you miss and kind of clang your great axe down onto the bridge, the wolf is going to continue to run off and kind of disappear past your vision.
Alright.
You feel calm kind of come over you as seems like the threats have gone for the time being.
Can I tell if if Everett is stable, or is he still like? Do I need to like stabilize him?
He's bleeding, but he's not dead. So he doesn't need actual like rules-wise stabilization, but he is in bad shape.
I'm gonna walk over to one body of the wolf, and I'm gonna say a prayer to Anthar, right? And
To Athar?
kind of just like, yeah, Athar, and kind of send it off, give it a sending off.
Okay. Oh, so the wolf like over here.
Yeah.
Gotcha. As you kind of turn that side of the corner, you see the other old man, and he kind of limps over to you, and then he surveys the remnants of the battle and says, "You managed to repel them." Referring to you, Soljin.
I really like how
Yes,
he
we
just
did.
stood there.
Very well done. I'm sorry I couldn't be of much more help. This knee of mine.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Philemon. Most call me Phil.
All right. Are you in charge of security in this town, or what do you do?
No, I'm an old retired veteran. I'm not in charge of anything anymore, and to be honest, that's quite how I like it.
Sildren will kind of laugh and then just kind of continue his prayer, kind of ignoring the man for a minute.
He kind of continues to look around, and then he sees Everett on the ground and rushes over to him, and he's gonna tear off a piece of his cloak and use it to kind of staunch the bleeding. And he's gonna look at you, Koja, and say, "Will you help me stop the bleeding?"
Yeah, for sure.
Here, just, I'm afraid my hands are rather shaky, so if you would just hold this pressure here.
All right, she's gonna put her hands down, and we don't need to worry about initiative anymore, right? Like
Nope,
we're out of
no,
combat.
you're free. Everybody's free to move however they want. When you hear the
All
music
right, well,
stop, that'll be the end of combat.
Alright. And while I'm applying pressure, I'm gonna use. This is more for role play through anything, but to kind of help him hold on, I'm gonna use Hero Wisdom. I'm gonna be like, stay with us, man.
All right, understood. You hear him.
Plus 2 hit points.
He's been kind of like mumbling and groaning, but as you cast that, he kind of calms himself. Between that and the pressure, he seems to be a lot more stable than he was before. Narco, what are you up to on the bridge over there?
Just kind of coming down from being really angry.
The fury fades as the wolf
yeah.
runs away.
It's mostly just embarrassment at this point, but it's okay. So she goes over to the group. If I could click that would be So yeah, she goes over to where the group is standing, and she, guys, do you need me to, like, maybe carry him? We should probably bring him to maybe the tavern. Maybe the people there can help us. I don't really know anybody else, so if you want, I can.
As you guys are talking and kind of focusing on Everett, Norika and Hilda, you see a woman come kind of running down the stairs. She seems a little bit panicked and wearing like a nightgown, as if she was asleep before she ran over here. And she runs up. Her eyes kind of pass across you, Sojourn, but then she focuses on the man who's lying down. And she says, "Oh heavens, what seems to be happening? I heard the horn, and ran over." Just kind of speaking to the group as a whole.
A horde of goblins. We took care of them, though.
Goblins? Oh no. Is Everett all right?
He's a little worse for wear, but
He's hanging on.
He's a little roughed up.
She kneels down on the stone tiles, and just kind of pats Everett's head, and just says, "Stay with us, Everett. You'll be all right." And then she looks up at the rest of you and says, "Did you fight? Did you fight off the goblin attack then?"
yeah, they were no problem for us.
They were a
Well,
little bit of a problem.
A little bit of a problem for me, but that's okay.
For 3 of us.
Yeah, no problem. As Norika just quietly nurses a burn in the background,
Quietly, like, taking the arrow out of her shoulder, like, it's fine.
with
it doesn't take
Koja's
anything."
slightly singed ears.
Yeah.
But the woman in the nightgown looks kind of across at the whole party, back to Sojourn as well, and says, "Oh, are you in town responding to my missive?"
About the missing people?
"Yes, about the disappearances."
Oh, you're the lady. Okay, yeah, I think.
"I'm Lady Edith Bailey. I'm the Lord of Hearthhope."
Then yes, I think that's at least why I'm here. I think the rest of them could say the same.
Yeah.
I shake your hand, but it's getting pretty bloody right now.
I think everybody's had quite enough excitement for one night, but I do have more to say to you if you come and visit me in the morning. You have room and board, yes?
Yeah.
How much was that total?
Hilda does mental math in her head, because she's kind of dumb.
So I think 2 for each of you guys for your
Yeah.
rooms, except Sojourn. So she's gonna say, "Oh, only 6 coins," and she pulls out like a wallet, like a pouch of coins, and she's gonna hand each of you 2 coins except Sojourn.
Gladly.
Here, that should cover room and board. If you're working for me, then I'll make sure you're taken care of.
Should we get Everett some help?
She looks at Philemon, as she doesn't quite have much expertise in this area. And Philemon says, "He seems to be stable for now. We've stopped the bleeding. I imagine he just needs rest. You there," he points to Norika, the large one, "would you help me carry him into his house?
Of course.
It's just this one here behind me." He turns around and points.
Easy carry. Do I need to, like, roll anything to pick him up?
No,
Is
you'd
he
be
like-
perfectly
okay.
capable. He's an old man and he's quite small.
Okay.
You're
So-
9 feet tall. You got this.
All right.
So rather effortlessly, you kind of scoop him up in your arms, and then Philemon kind of guides you off towards. He opens the door to Everett's house here.
Okay. So I will grab the old man Everett and then take him inside.
He holds the door kind of out of your way so that he doesn't hit you guys.
I have to, like, bend over.
Yeah, you have to kind of slump over a little bit to get inside, but it's a
The
simple
shoulders
little.
don't fit through the door.
It's a simple little house. It looks kind of like almost your rooms from the inn. Not too much in regards to amenities, just a small bed, some dressers, some cabinets, and some tables. And he says, "Here, just lay him down on the bed there."
I place him down on the bed as gently as I can.
He grabs a chair kind of from a nearby table and says, "I'll watch over him tonight to make sure he doesn't turn for the worst. You all should get some sleep. You look rather worse for wear."
Agree with you on that, and then I will leave him be. Close the door behind me.
As you leave, he says,
Okay.
"Again, thank you. I couldn't have handled those goblins by myself."
Apparently, I couldn't handle them that well either, but I'm glad that there were all of us here.
Well,
and hopefully I'll see you again.
I've seen many battles myself, and every time those goblins weren't attacking our friend here, he points to Everett, is a turn that saved his life, so even
I guess
if
the damage done to me should have been done to me and not to him, so I'm glad for that.
every once in a while somebody needs someone big to just stand in the way, so don't beat yourself up too bad.
I mean, the goblins kind of already did that for me.
Yeah, leave that to the enemy.
He lets out a small chuckle and says, "You have a good night."
You too. And then I leave the house.
Okay, so let's move Everett in there. There you go. So Lady Bailey kind of looks at the group and says, "Please do come and see me at my manor tomorrow. I'll explain in further detail what this job requires. For now, it's rather late, and I think you've all had quite enough to do tonight."
Agreed.
Right, you are.
She says, she kind of turns to leave, but as she does, she turns back and says, "Thank you all again for defending my town."
No need to thank us.
And then she's going to turn around and head back up these stairs. So, what do you do next?
Koji is very eager to just go to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow them back to the tavern.
Same here.
Having finished my prayer, I'm gonna check the goblins out and see if I can get any indication as to why they attacked or if they have anything on them of value.
If you want to inspect the goblins, make a medicine check for me.
Mid. That's gonna be a 19.
Ooh, nice. So the goblin that you're expecting that is kind of slumped over on the ground, lifeless. You can tell definitely how it died from the wounds that you guys gave it. But other than that, it seems like a very standard goblin wearing not very much armor. But what you do notice with a 19 is you sort of pry its eye open as you're inspecting it, and its eyes are a strange cloudy color, rather unusual for a normal goblin.
Like blind cloudy? Or just
Not
cloudy?
blind cloudy, just a strange cloudiness that you don't really recognize,
Okay.
but is definitely not normal for a person to have in their eye.
Alright. And then do they have anything on them worth value? Like any gold or anything?
Yeah, one of the goblins has 3 gold on it.
Alright. Finishing that, I'll head back to my tree.
Gotcha. So you wade. Okay. So the rest of you head back upstairs in the tavern, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you head back upstairs. It seems like most people have kind of started to disperse. The tavern seems rather empty. Here, let me bring you guys back inside. Alright, I'll bring you back inside now. So most people started to disperse. The only people you see are the bard, who seems to kind of be collecting their instrument, and the red-haired woman who's just kind of cleaning stuff up behind the counter. But she turns around to see you guys enter as she hears the door close. And she says, "What was all the commotion about? You rushed off here in a hurry."
You know, goblins. The usual, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't been here that long. You guys get goblins often? This is goblins.
Goblins? Well, I can't say that that's a regular occurrence. They usually give the town a wide berth.
Hmm.
Pretty bold
Oh,
of
then
them
maybe
to
they like
come right into
the
the
taste
town
of what
center.
then. Who knows? But that's what it was.
Hmm.
I mean, I did great. I fought a lot of
Of course, I imagine you
Yeah.
would.
they did. They didn't land a single hit on me once.
Hilda nudges her with her elbow. Yeah, real great.
I was so impressive out there. Yep.
She's gonna make an insight check on you. So make a deception if you want to convince her that you did great and that you're not hurt.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to this.
Can I roll persuasion since I said, yeah, real great?
No, we're just gonna have Norika do the lie first, and then we'll see if she.
I rolled an 8.
Oh, God.
However, you do have somebody backing you up and corroborating your story, so you're gonna make that roll with advantage. So roll one more time.
Okay. 17.
All right.
Nice.
She seems convinced.
Okay.
And she says, "Yeah, I imagine you did do great. A lot of you look rather tough."
I'm just off to the side, very upset and inspecting my burnt clothes.
She says, "You lot look rather tired. You might want to get some sleep then. Your rooms are ready for you."
Thank God.
Before going to my room, I walk over to the bard and give him a silver piece.
The bard is wearing rather nice looking clothing and kind of has jewelry adorning it, even on its beak. And it looks up at you as you offer. Sorry, how much? What did you do?
1 silver piece.
Okay. Looks up at you and says, "Thank you kindly," in a rather chipper voice.
That's for the song you played earlier. Quite relaxing.
The Kenku nods and then, in a different voice, a much lower man's voice, says, "It's a nice song."
I nod and head off into my room.
Does anybody here have no experience with Kenku and feeling a little confused?
I know that I've read that they speak with mimics or something.
So a Kenku can't form sentences of its own and must mimic sentences that it's heard, but it can do so with perfect accuracy.
Ah.
In addition to that, they can't be creative. So writing songs is something that a Kenku could not do. Yeah, Kenku are basically soundboards.
So the Kenku is like a cover artist?
Nice.
Bumblebee.
Yeah, you kind of pieced that together, Naraka.
Oh yeah, I am already in my room. I collapse on the bed.
All right.
Yeah, same.
Same
Then
here.
we will do a long rest party-wide. In which, so D&D Beyond has its own long rest function at the top, which you can click, and that'll heal you up. And if you used any hit dice, you get half them back for doing a long rest, but you guys didn't use any hit dice. So you'll just get your spell slots back and you'll get your health back. So if you click that, it'll heal you up nice and give you your spell slots back.
Cool.
So you manage to drift off in the night and get a decently restful sleep. And you're awoken by the sun that kind of streams through the curtains in your room. And it's early in the morning, around 8 o'clock, when you arise. Who do you think would be the first to rise? Who's an early bird?
Absolutely, Naraka.
All right.
Hilda too.
Then Hilda and Naraka are first to rise, and they kind of bump into each other in the hall as they leave their rooms.
Hilda waves at Naraka.
Naraka waves very chipperly back. She's very much a morning person. So,
I head over to the bar.
Big grin. There you go. So coming downstairs this morning, everybody's kind of filtered out of the tavern, and there's only Abigail here. Oh, sorry, she introduced herself, right?
Mhm.
All right, then you can get
to
it.
me at least.
You can have her name tag then. There's Abigail, who's cleaning tables, and the older woman, who Abigail called Granny, is behind the bar, and she seems to be cooking what smells like eggs.
Ooh.
And she sees you head downstairs and says, "Oh, did you have a good sleep?"
Yes, it was quite nice, thank you.
Lovely. I'm just cooking breakfast now. Ooh, we got it.
Naraka goes to sit in front of the hearth. Her feet were sticking out from under the covers last night, so her feet are cold.
Oh, we just had a raid from Shiny Pants on Twitch, who plays Killian Quinn in one of my other campaigns. Thank you for that. Welcome, everybody. To fill you all in, they arrived at town. They had some dinner. They welcome raiders as well. They heard a hunting horn in the distance. You're mistaken. Why is my nightbot so mean? Apologies. So they heard a hunting horn out in the town and went to investigate, and it was a nighttime goblin raid who they managed to fend off with several nat 20s that they rolled. Blessed by Fortuna, this group is the polar opposite of your group, Killian.
Well, 3 of us are blessed.
Yeah, at least 3 of you guys. Then they headed back to bed. So we're waking up in the morning, and they've been told to go and talk to Lady Bailey, who's the person who's going to hire them. We had a couple little heals, but it's been minor with Goodberry. We make fun of the other group for never having any heals, despite having 2 clerics. Because, well, you'd have to watch their streams, but they're a chaotic party. All right, back to business. So Hilda, Granny Amos, says, "Would you like some eggs then for breakfast? I'm just cooking some up. Only 1 gold."
Ooh, yes, that sounds lovely.
I'll take some too. And Naraka goes over to the bar.
So she finishes frying up several eggs and hands you a plate of them and says, "Enjoy your breakfast."
Is there any coffee?
Well, we have some tea. I can look in the back for some coffee. You might have some beans.
Oh, right.
So she kind of wanders off to look in some of the crates.
How many eggs are on this plate?
She's giving you 2 eggs each.
I'll take it.
So Koja, eventually you would probably wake up, and Sildren, I don't know when you would rise, but...
Yeah, I'd probably wander in around now.
Okay, then I'll bring you in here. Here you go. So as the two of you are eating, you see Granny Amos rummaging around kind of over here in some sacks. And then you see Koja begin to descend the staircase, and the door swings open behind you, and Sojourn enters.
Yeah, I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm still very sleepy as I come down. I'm just gonna wander over it and just kind of take a seat. I'm just vibing.
Granny Amos, after some time, says, I seem to have found a batch of beans. And she looks to Norika and Koja, and then I guess Sildren too, if you're wandering in, and says, would the rest of you like some coffee too? On the house. After all, you did help
Yes,
the town
please.
last night.
I don't think so.
Sildren will politely decline and just kind of find his way over to join the party, but just kind of hanging out. Not...
Okay. She gathers 3 small clay mugs and begins to brew up some coffee for you. And after some time, she will hand it over to you and say, enjoy. You lot are off to see Lady Bailey, I suppose.
Assuming we can find her house.
Well, it's the big one in the north of town. Just past
okay.
just turn right at the market square, and you'll be well on your way.
Is there any like physical descriptors? I'm sorry, like everything tends to be like the same size for me. So like a big house would be like, oh, this is what my house looks like. So, is there anything like landmarky I should look out for?
She laughs and says, understood. Well, if you turn right at Market Square, you look for the fancy-looking one with lots of flowers.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I was a little worried. I was like, big house. Okay, you mean house that I can walk into?
Oh, I think this house will be big even for you, my dear.
I look forward to seeing it.
Koji is just very slowly sipping her coffee.
Would you
Hilda just guzzles hers down.
Would you like some eggs too? She says to Koja. Still kind of.
She just kind of shakes her head and mumbles.
All right then. So you finish off eating your meal, and you can depart. Do whatever you'd like. Feeling good about the day, nice and refreshed, nice and healed.
Caffeine in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shall we? And I'll gesture towards the door.
Yeah, Koji's gonna like sling her bag over her shoulder as she gets up. Thank you for the coffee. She turns back as she says that.
My pleasure.
Hilda bows and thanks her as well.
Good stuff, Naraka says, and then follows everyone out as well.
So you exit the inn, and it is daytime again. Oh, hang on. Get you in there. You can stay big for a sec. It just has a default size when I add you in. And I have to shrink you slightly. Naraka probably doesn't need the shrinking, but...
Yeah.
There. So you exit the inn, and sun kind of streams gently through the trees that sit far above you. The redwood trees are rather tall and tower off into the sky and kind of create some coverage, shielding you directly from the sun, but some rays kind of come through here and there. It's slightly crisp in the morning because it is approaching autumn, so the air is a bit cool now.
I'm gonna head back over the way we came the night prior and see if I can find the marketplace.
I do need to replace my dagger.
Oops, sorry.
I need to see if I can invest in a cloak. It's much colder up here than what I'm used to. Or down here, I suppose. Or up. I should look at a map.
Alright, so you head back north towards the entrance of town in search of the market square.
Gonna
What's up?
gonna head up here to the left,
Okay.
taking the stairs, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there too.
Agreed.
Alright. You head upwards following these stone steps. They kind of curve up that cliffside. And eventually you see in front of you a large stone statue and then a bunch of tents kind of surrounding it. And a bunch of different people standing at different booths around. The stone statue is very, very tall, even taller than you, Norika. And what you notice about it, it seems to be some sort of warrior in armor, but the most noticeable thing about it is that it is missing a head.
That's a bit unsettling.
Yeah, that's odd. That's odd right there.
Guess they didn't like whoever that was.
Bart Simpson came by.
Siljan, as you walk into the market square, you're immediately approached by a young girl who has sort of like a box that's strapped around her neck, filled with different baked goods. She kind of skips right up to you and says, "Ah, hello, my lord. Could I trouble you for your time?"
Sure. He'll kind of nervously look at the girl.
Surely someone of your resplendent taste would enjoy a delicacy like a pretzel, no?
Well, I'm no lord, but
Oh,
appreciate
don't be humble. Surely you look like a lord.
I am literally covered in dirt, just so everyone knows. Like this out of character for a second. So I'm gonna, feeling bad, I'm gonna give her 1 gold,
Just 1 gold for a pretzel.
and just, I'm not gonna take the pretzel though.
You
I'm
don't
just
want the
gonna
pretzel?
pay her a gold and just kind of. Sorry about that. I don't really need a pretzel right now, but here, take a gold.
She takes the gold and flicks it quickly into a pouch on her side, and then moves on.
I'll take his pretzel if he's not taking it.
I suppose, as she looks back at Soljin, "My lord,
Yeah.
can milady here have your pretzel?"
For sure.
Then she hands you the pretzel, Koja.
She's digging in very happily.
Cool.
Sorry. She walks over to you, Norika, a little bit more hesitantly than the rest, but says, "Ah, the rather large one. Milady, would you like a pretzel as well?"
How many pretzels do you have?
I have several more. I have about 5 here.
I'll take 3.
That'll be 3 gold then.
So I hand her the 3 gold, and I take the 3 pretzels. And
A woman
you
of
watch.
such fine taste will surely enjoy these delicious
You-
pretzels.
See, you say that, but everyone blinks, and the pretzels are all gone.
Ah, you must have been absolutely famished. Would you like another one? Only 1 gold.
I think. Yeah, I'll take the other 2, actually. I give her 2 more. I just literally buy all of her pretzels.
I knew such a beautiful lady as yourself would have just be so affluent in gold. I thank you, my lady. Would you?
You humble me.
Here are your pretzels.
Thanks. I apologize for buying you out of all your pretzels. Does anybody else want a pretzel, by the way? You can have it. I just
Me.
really okay. You can have it, and then I throw the pretzel.
I am double fisting pretzels.
I guess I'll take one. You're giving out free pretzels.
Okay, I throw the other pretzel.
All right, she seems satisfied, so she's going to sit on this bench here and she's counting her gold.
I'm gonna look around. Can I tell what the different shopkeepers are selling? Just roughly.
So over here, to the south, you see some weapons on a table, and a young red-haired girl with short hair, um, who appears to be human, standing kind of half paying attention at the stall. And then on the far side, past the statue here, or actually on your to the north on your right, you can see a bunch of like kind of variety goods here. And this man that you recognize from the tavern last night is standing behind them with his arms folded. There's some potions there, some various items like rope and stuff like that. Seems like a variety shop. And then on the far side, you see a man who has several fish strung up. And past the statue on the other end, you see what appears to be a bunch of produce. And a woman standing in front of that stall.
I'm gonna go over to the weapon.
Yeah,
So-
I'm heading over here once I spot them too.
The woman who is standing at the stall, she barely notices you as you walk up, but as you kind of stand there for just enough for it to be awkward, she suddenly looks up from what she's doing. She's just kind of drifted off, and is just daydreaming basically. And she looks up and says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Hilda says, or Hilda looks at the weapons and then at the woman and says, "Well, your weapons aren't the only things that are looking sharp."
Ooh.
Well, I don't really know what you mean, but I don't make the weapons. The blacksmith in there, she nods her head, kind of hooks her head backwards towards this building here. Says, blacksmith back there makes them. I just help out at the store sometimes.
All right, what do you got here?
Well, I mean, swords, and there's dagger, and she points at what appears to be a flail, and says, the stick thingy with the spikes on it. I don't really
She's
know.
an excellent salesperson.
I don't really know what
I'm
you
just
call
saying.
that thing, but I think it would probably hurt if you hit someone with it.
Hmm.
Well, excuse me while I butt in here. How many daggers do you have?
Well, we got the ones in the shop window, but if you want more, there's some inside. If you go back and talk to my sister.
And how much are they?
Let me double check. I don't think they're that. Just want to make sure. She spends a very long time. She pulls out like a piece of parchment and just kind of, you see her tracing her finger along the parchment, as if she had to look it up. And then she says, 3 gold per dagger.
That is surprisingly fair. You know, I was coming up ready to barter, but no, I'll just take one.
All right, here you go. She hands you a sword.
Wait, no.
Wait, hold on. Wait, that's not right. Here, take this instead. And she gives you a dagger.
And I'm gonna hand over the gold. I'm gonna wander off while I pocket it and finish my pretzels.
She looks at you, Hilda, and says, "Is it something you needed too?"
Hilda winks and says, "How about your name?"
Cynthia. Yourself?
"Nice to meet you. My name is Hilda."
Well, I guess it's nice to see you too.
"I'll see you around."
Yeah, I guess if you come back to buy something.
And then I head off.
Naraka notices the weapon stand and moves up to it, intending to buy something.
She's already drifted off into another daydream, and then once you cast a shadow over her, that's when she looks up and says, "Oh, hello. Can I help you?"
Hey, I know you're like a weapons seller, but like, do you have any cloaks or like any idea where I can buy a large, basically a blanket, probably?
My sister might have some of those inside if you go and talk to her. We don't have any of those in the shop window right now, but inside maybe.
Okay, great. Also, what is the heaviest weapon you have that could probably also be used as like a rock or something? Literally the heaviest thing you have. Give me.
I don't know. She picks back up that sheet of paper and just starts tracing her finger, and she says, it doesn't say any weights here, so I don't know how heavy they all are. She looks
Okay.
she looks at the very large great axe you have strung across your back, and says, I reckon that thing's probably the heaviest thing here.
Yeah, probably. It's fine.
Listen,
how about...
I don't know too much about weapons. You should probably talk to my sister.
Okay, where can I find your sister?
Just inside. She hooks her head back this direction.
Okay, that's okay. All right, I will go chat with your sister. Thank you. You have been very helpful. I hope you sell lots of weapons. And then
Happy to help. Happy to help.
she leaves while she's still talking. just completely. Just bye, I guess. And she goes over to where Cynthia said her sister would be.
Yeah, you can see some smoke kind of lazily wafting up from a chimney on this house here as you duck to head inside. Anybody going with her, or should we just bring her inside?
Nobody want to come to the blacksmith with me? No one?
I'm gonna just check out the statue.
Alright.
I have like no money, so I wouldn't really be able to do anything in the blacksmith.
Alright, Norka, you duck your head to get through the doorway. And inside, it's a small looking house, which also seems to be turned kind of half into a rather modest forge. And you see what appears to be a short dwarven woman bent over an anvil as you walk in.
Hi there, she says really awkwardly, just having walked in. Hey, your sister sent me. Yeah, I need a cloak and also maybe a heavy weapon. Heavy. If this is heavy, but like I just wanted to see some options if you have any.
She looks up at you and kind of turns around to face you, wipes a bunch of sweat off her face, as it's rather hot in here. And she's wearing kind of really thick gloves and holding some pliers in her hand, and says, you talked to my sister then?
I did.
A cloak, you said. Well.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, my sister, yes, she can be a little airheaded at times, but she's a lovely lass.
No doubt there. She was very helpful.
Norika, you can tell that the sister was a human and this woman is a dwarf.
If you don't mind me asking, you don't look that alike.
The only thing they share is red hair, but everything else is very different. Yeah. And she says, well, my sister, she was adopted. At a young age, her parents passed away. So my family took her in. And she's an Evenized now.
I'm glad, I've seen a lot of, children with lost parents, whatnot, traveling from place to place. It's nice when somebody finally finds a home, and you seem like nice people.
Yes, well,
anyway,
I'm all she's got now. I'm Beatrice, by the way.
It's nice to meet you, Beatrice. And she sticks out her meaty hand.
She has to kind of like step on her tiptoes to meet your hand, but she shakes your hand too. Her glove is slightly kind of dirty and covered in a bit of grime.
It's okay.
And she says, well then, back to business. You wanted a cloak then?
Yes, if you have any. I know you're a blacksmith, so it's like not the forte, but...
It's not exactly my area, but I do happen to have a couple cloaks here. got to kind of diversify the merchandise, you understand. So he kind of heads over to this dresser over here. And begins to rummage around in it. And as she's kind of looking, she continues talking and says, You mentioned wanting a heavy weapon too.
Yeah. I mean, I might not buy one. I just kind of want to know my options. I love my axe. This is like my baby. But I kind of embarrassed myself last night fighting goblins, and maybe if I was more intimidating, I would not be as bad.
Well, I can't think of many things more intimidating than a minotaur with a great axe. So I think you'll be just fine in that area. As she's talking, she holds up a cloak that maybe reaches just to your like belly button and says, "No, that will never do." And she goes back to the dresser.
It's like crop top size.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
I mean, anything will do cloak-wise. A rug, maybe. Like a blanket. I'm not picky. I know it's hard to find.
She returns,
Things.
holding a rather, a rather kind of gaudy looking thing, and says, "Well, this is a tent tarp," and holds it up. It does fit you though.
You know what? I'll take it. How much?
Only 1 gold, dearie.
Alright, I give her the gold and I immediately put the tent.
So it's a red and white striped tent tarp.
Oh no! Like, it's
Evil Minotaur.
wait, I have an idea. Can you like, is it like long and like drapey?
It's enough to be like a normal cloak on somebody.
Okay, because I was like,
so you can kind of
this is so
fashion it
decent.
into
I
a
could
bit
just,
of a.
like hide people underneath.
You can fashion it into a bit of a hood, but it'll really only hide yourself.
I'll stick with the basic.
Oh, you don't want this then?
No, I like this. I enjoy the color scheme. It really brings out my my fur. I take it and then I give her the gold. Yeah.
Alright. And then she's gonna move over to kind of her weapons desk over here. Some of them are hanging on the wall. And she says, "Well, I mean, the biggest thing I've got is a great axe, but you've already got one of those."
It's okay. I understand. This is probably all I need. I just wanted to know if there were any other large weapons that existed. Actually, you can be a little help to me. I don't want to buy one per se, but let's say that I wanted to upgrade from a great axe, or at some point.
Upgrade
like,
to
not
what?
now, but I don't know. I'm asking. As a blacksmith, do you know of literally anything that is better than this? Because I want to be like buff, and she like flexes like really stupidly. And she's like, "Yeah."
Well, as far as massive weapons, your great axe is one of the biggest ones, but there's great swords as well, which are also two-handed weapons. Rather unwieldy to someone of my size, but I seem to think that you would probably be able to handle it. I don't have any in stock. That would be what a Zweihander would be.
Oh.
Like a two-hander, essentially. Is
That's
what a great sword would be. I think that's probably your only real upgrade, unless you wanted to drastically change your two-handed style. There's like lances and halberds and things like that, but that's a little different than your general.
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks.
Happy to help.
My computer is like glitching. Okay.
That's alright.
But she thanks her profusely. And she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for the cloak." And she just kind of limply waves her like arm around to make the cloak kind of move a little bit, like for emphasis, and then leaves.
You come on back to the Even Eyes Forge if you need anything else.
You'll be the first place I stop.
Have a good day.
You too. And then she just like bounces.
Alright, hang on. As you're leaving, you bump into this woman here. is holding some parchments in front of her, and she just straight up headbutts you as she walks right into you. She probably only hits your stomach. But she just straight up walks right into you. And then goes, "Oh, heavens, I'm sorry. I wasn't watching where I was stepping again." As she kind of cranes her neck way back to look up at you.
Oh, God.
She is wearing kind of not commoner's clothing, but slightly nicer than that. But certainly not like noble kind of garb. And her hair is tied back, but rather messy looking.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I should have been watching where I was going. Did like her papers like fall?
Yeah, she dropped her papers.
Okay. So I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then I help her. I try to get some of the paper. Like I kneel down and try to get some of the paper.
She's gonna kneel down to grab them too, and she's gonna accidentally headbutt you again. This time right on your forehead. She manages to miss the horns, luckily for her.
Ooh, good.
But she collides
Those
right
are
with your head.
dangerous.
And
no.
she kind of reels back again and rubbing her head and goes, "Oh, terribly sorry."
I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry. I have a really big head. I apologize. I'm gonna get the ones on this side, and you can get the ones on that side, and maybe we won't headbutt each other again.
Understood. Probably for the best.
Yeah.
The two of you gather her papers up, and you hand them back. Are you taking a look at the papers?
I mean, like a quick glance, but I think she's more focused on making sure that this lady is okay than the papers. But I mean, she's gonna like look at them while she's picking them up.
They seem, from what you can gather from a quick glance, to be a list of like errands. There's like a shopping list is one of the papers that you grab. A bunch of the stuff already crossed off. There's another one that is an order from what says Amberley Orchard. But from what you can gather, they're like errand lists. And she looks, after she finishes gathering the papers, and you hand the rest of them back to her, she looks up at you and says, "Are you new in town then? I haven't seen you around. I think I'd probably remember."
I just came in yesterday, actually, with a little. I met a ragtag group, actually, and then I kind of vaguely gesture at where everybody else is. I'm like, yeah, they're also new.
Koji is staring and snickering at the tarp.
There's a death glare radiating from Naraka.
Hilda's just been laughing under her breath the moment they had butted.
Everybody is just watching this happen, and I'm like, yeah, these guys are pretty cool. New.
She says, "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. I suppose you're Lady Bailey's hirees, who she's going to be paying to investigate. I'm Adelaide, by the way."
Oh, it's nice to meet you. It's very nice to meet you. Also, out of character, was that a reference to Over the Garden Wall because you played the theme when we first joined? Yeah, okay. Just wanted to know. Okay.
Don't read it. Don't read anything into it. Based on Over the Garden Wall.
I'm reading a little bit into.
Don't.
I am analyzing.
Don't let it bias you.
It's not okay.
The name itself was just a reference.
I liked it. Anyway, Naraka puts her hand out for a handshake. It's the same one that she shook the blacksmith's hand with. It's like a little dirty. Just a little bit.
She doesn't notice, and she shakes your hand anyway.
Okay.
She doesn't notice that her hand now has a bit of kind of soot on it, and she just immediately picks her papers back up again, getting soot on the papers.
It's like that scene from Mulan.
She doesn't notice though.
Oh, sad.
And she says, "Well, I must be running along. I have to." She starts to sift through the papers and pauses for a moment, and then just keeps going as she notices the soot. And then she says, "Oh my, I must be more careful with these." And says, "I have more errands to take care of for Lady Bailey. But I suppose I'll see you around again. I'm off to the orchards to pick up an order."
Well, yeah, I'll probably see you around. So it was nice meeting you. And you got a little, when I like point at the soot
Oh.
on the, I'm like, you got a little. It's a little
she
that's
kind of
probably my fault.
she's turning red now. But she's looking at her hand too, and it's like, oh, and she kind of wipes it on her clothes.
I okay. I feel like I would just spread it. Like, okay, sorry, I just wanted to let you know. I'll let you get to your errands. You seemed very busy.
Yeah, it didn't really
Try not to headbutt anybody though.
it didn't really clean her hand. She just got more soot on her
Just
kind of
gets-
near her hip. Um, and she says, "Oh yes, it was really nice to meet you too, but I must be on my way." And then she's gonna try to walk past you, and she heads off in this direction.
I have a question.
Yep.
There's a ring of water around the statue, right?
Yep.
Can I check around in the water to see if there's any coins?
Yeah,
Ooh.
there's some
Oh my
copper
God.
coins. There's some copper coins.
I pocket all of them.
You're stealing children's wishes.
Hold on now. There's copper coins everywhere.
Alright, I go around the statue and pocket all of the copper coins.
Oh my god.
Alright,
Coach A is shaking her head very judgmentally.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Run.
I'm not involved in this. I'm backing up.
he watches you. The man kind of leaves the stall and watches you, taking coins out of the fountain. He goes, "You over there? What are you up to?"
Oh, just...
Taking coins from the fountain?
Yes?
Well, I can't say they belong to anyone, but seems kind of like bad form to take some wishes out of the fountain, isn't it?
Well, see, the wishes were already made, so... I mean, it's not like they're still being processed.
How do the logistics of wishes work? No one knows.
The man just kind of gives you an exasperated look. He doesn't really have much of an argument against you, as people kind of are donating to the fountain. The money doesn't really go anywhere. But he doesn't seem to be too appreciative of what you're doing.
Alright. I take one of my own copper coins. I take a silver coin and toss it in.
I see, so you'll respect the fountain if it's your own wish, but not others.
You know what? I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna take Kilda's silver coin out.
He looks at you and just says, "Cat lady, what the bloody hell do you think you're doing?"
They deserve it.
Equivalent exchange.
I've had enough of this.
How much copper did I get?
About 100 copper.
That's a lot of
Wow.
copper. That's a
Damn.
lot of copper.
Christ.
Damn, son. Alright.
Absolutely loaded now.
Enough money to pay for your room now.
More than enough.
Oh wait, that's like one gold piece.
Oh, never
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, that's one goal.
Sad. You can pay for half a room.
As the man's walking away, but he turns back towards you and says, "Don't be causing any more trouble in town."
Well, considering I haven't caused any to begin with, no problem.
I disagree.
I walk over to Koja and say, "Can I have my silver back?"
No.
Fair enough.
Oh no.
Seeing that she just picked up quite a bit of gold, or quite a bit of money, the pretzel girl, who now has refreshed her supply, is going to walk over to the two of you and say,
Oh god, not again.
milady, you seem to have come across quite a bit of coin. Could I trouble you for, another purchase?"
I'm just backing away. I'm.
Yeah,
Surely,
me too.
surely one as generous as yourself.
Generous? I just stole money.
Oh, don't be so humble. Surely a generous person like yourself can spare a couple coins for a poor girl like myself.
No thanks.
As you
I-
Tell if the girl is
I'm quite
well
full.
off.
as you turn around to like leave, she goes, "What good are you?" and just walks away.
C- Can I
I
tell?
already had one of your pretzels.
Is the girl wealthy? Like, can I tell? Is she from like a well-off family?
No, she's wearing commoner's clothing. She doesn't seem wealthy at all.
Okay.
Oh, she's wealthy now after she got like 20 gold from our fucking Minotaur.
Don't listen. It was well placed investments. I'm investing in the pretzel stock market.
You're
It's gonna be-
investing your stomach.
Actually, you'll remember that I gave 2 of them away. So, charity.
Yeah, wait until later when the pretzel gods bestow their blessing. Then you'll eat your words.
It's gonna be me that reaps the benefits, not you.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're now back in town square. What do you do?
I'm gonna start heading up north. See if the house that was meant earlier.
Actually, you know what? There are like potions or something over here, right?
Yeah, there's
I'm
some in here.
gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna come over and look at what he's got.
I'm gonna walk up behind Koja.
Just kind of awkwardly standing behind her.
Yeah.
Meander.
Can I see if I could like pickpocket my 1 silver bag?
Sleight of hand contested by Koja's perception roll.
Alright.
So Koja roll perception, Hilda roll
Got it.
sleight.
Which I have proficiency in. 18.
19.
Ah.
All right, the silver is yours then.
Heck yeah. I got my money back, money back, money back.
But this man here cranes his head off to the side as you're walking up behind her, with kind of an amused look on his face. He has his arms folded.
I put my finger up to my mouth.
He looks back towards Koja and says, Luva Imuri, my friend, can I help you? Koja, you recognize, as somebody from Al-Zahar, you recognize this greeting. It is a common greeting that most people in Al-Zahar would say upon meeting each other.
Hear it again.
And is typically answered, so he said Luva Imuri,
I see.
and then the answer would typically be Luva Dume.
And Luva Dume to you.
Which means in Zahari, all on fire, all as should be between the two of them.
What kind of inventory do you have here, good sir?
You notice that he has a small pin on his lapel in the shape of a golden set of scales.
She's not happy about that.
And he says, this is my general store. I have all sorts of different wares from all over. Is there something in particular you're looking for?
What kind of potions do you have?
We have health potions.
Oh, I see.
We have antitoxins. We have potions of climbing. What exactly do you need?
Do you have any poisons, maybe?
No, I don't sell poisons. I'm not in the illicit substances.
Fair,
I
that's
am
fair.
a legitimate trader. Golden Scale certified.
Well, how much are the health potions?
Health potions are, I believe, I won't tell you the wrong answer. Health potions are 50 gold.
A bit steep, don't you think?
That's the price you're going to find everywhere, my friend.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I
You've
yeah.
been to the bazaars before. You know that is market price. Most places would sell a health potion for 50 gold.
No matter how persuasive I am, I can't barter that down to 7.
Not to 7, no.
Well, good day to you.
You'd have to
Nothing.
be a god at persuasion to do that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna walk away now.
Hold on, just before you walk away. He kind of calls out to you. Is there anything else you wanted?
No, that's all. I was just curious.
Well, my friend, you might want to check your pockets. Have a nice day.
Hey, where's my silver?
I I point to the pretzel lady.
You.
She's just sitting here, with her inventory on the bench. Ah, what?
I'm just gonna kind of eye them both suspiciously.
Did you want something? Are you here to buy a pretzel?
No, I'm fine.
No.
God.
All right, what
I'm
good are
just
you?
gonna back away.
Okay.
Or you don't even have any mustard.
So heading north into town,
Yeah.
there's several more kind of small buildings. They look like houses, and strung kind of along this street here are several banners of flags and such. And in the distance, you begin to see. You kind of head upwards up a slope, and in the distance, you can see a larger, fancier looking house than the rest. And across, you come across kind of another smaller river with a stone bridge over it, and 2 armored guards standing in front of this larger, fancier building.
I'll approach and see, or greet. I'll say, "Hello there. We've come to see
Um,
Lord Lady Bailey."
they look you up and down, and then one of the guards says, "Business with Lady Bailey, then?
Yep.
You here for the missive?"
Yes, we are.
Well, she's just inside, so... and one of them turns to kind of begin to escort you. Kind of
Just
nods his
follow.
head. So he creaks kind of these 2 larger doors open, and kind of motions with his head to follow him inside. As you're walking by, you see a woman who's bent over, kind of gardening. She's planting some flowers. She doesn't seem to notice you as you walk by. So heading inside then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Into the
Big house.
Bailey estate.
Oh man, that is big.
Oh, sorry, wrong guard.
Does Naraka have to duck to get through the doors, or is it like fine?
Not this time. These doors are rather
Ooh.
large.
Big house.
And
This is a
the
big
hallway
building.
that you're in has kind of fancy looking tile, and it's actually rather tall ceilings as well, so you don't have to duck at all. You're a lot closer to the ceiling than everybody else, but you don't have to quite duck.
Surprising.
The man kind of sees that you're all following him in and says, "Lady Bailey's just in the dining hall. Follow me this way." He motions down this hall and just says, "First door on your right." So as you enter this room, it's a rather fancy looking dining hall with a large, intricately carved table in the center and a bunch of chairs around it. At the far end of the table, you see the same woman from last night, only she's not wearing a nightgown this time. She's wearing Rather intricate and wealthy-looking, noble clothing. She has a necklace with gems around it, around her neck. And
Coda died for a second.
I didn't know what that button did. I thought it was the close button.
okay, I see. Yeah, you did this, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think I did that the first time too. It looks like a closing X. That's for like status ailments and things like that. That window. She sees you all walk in and looks up from the papers she has in front of her. And says, my friends from last night, how are you? Did you sleep well?
All right.
Yes.
Very well.
That's good, that's good. So you're all here responding to my call for assistance then, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've had, as I'm sure you've heard from the town folk and from my letters, that we've had quite a few disappearances in the past few months. And I can't seem to determine exactly where these disappearing people are going. We've had several townfolk disappear. We've had livestock from the surrounding farms disappear. And, well, that's why I've called for your assistance, is the town guard, they need to remain here, and we don't exactly have very many of them in the first place. And, well, our division of the Rangers, they're both very new and very busy at the moment, so I can't call to them for aid either. So I became rather desperate. I don't want to see any more of my people disappear. So I sent out the letter that you're all responding to. I assure you, I can pay you quite well if you manage to find any of our missing people, or even just put a stop to whoever's causing them. And, well, yes, go ahead.
Where have the people been disappearing from? Do you have any places specifically that we can check out?
Well, we have. Often they disappear wandering from town to town. We have people who go off to the orchards and back. We have people who visit the farms. We have farmers who come in from their farmsteads to sell their wares in town who never make it back home again. We have people who go hunting in the woods who never come back.
Are there any
Goblins
nearby
are-
monster encampments or anything?
Well, not that I know of. I don't know of any encampments. We've had sightings of goblins more recently, and well, the sighting last night seems to confirm it, that perhaps they're behind it. But I can't say I know exactly where their encampment is. I imagine they'd stick to the woods. She kind of thinks for a moment. Looks kind of lost in thought, so if anyone wants to ask her any questions, you can.
Is there
How
anyone
much?
who's...
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, you first.
Is there anyone who's lost someone who we could talk to? Or who might know anything more?
Well, the trapper lost his son, but he lives out in the woods. He was investigating the goblins, but since he visited town last, I haven't heard from him. You could go and pay him a visit.
Alright.
The grocer, Eleanor, she lost her husband. If she's not in the town square, then she'll be at her farmstead a little bit to the north. You could visit her as well. The Amberleys at the orchard, they told me that they spotted goblins, but they didn't have any disappearances themselves. So they might be worth talking to as well.
Thank you. That's very helpful.
What's the reward for this job exactly?
Well, we'll settle the payments if anything is completed, But while you're working for me, I will take care of your room and board in town.
Good enough for me.
I'm afraid I can't be of too much assistance here. I mean, the disappearances have me rather stumped, which is why I'm turning to you all for aid.
I'll be happy to help.
Well, I'm glad to finally have someone looking into this. She kind of stands up from the table and looks across at you. Did you have any other questions then?
Oh man.
I think that's all for me. I'll also stand up.
Where do you think you'll begin your investigation then? I don't know if you've talked to any of the townsfolk so far.
I'm thinking probably the trapper, the orchard. What do you
Well,
guys think?
The trapper
That
lives
sounds
in
good start.
the trapper lives in the woods to the west, and the orchard and the old home farmstead are both to the north.
Alright.
Sauce on goblins.
She kind of escorts you back towards the door as you don't have any more questions for her, and she says, well, I truly hope that you're able to find at least something. I can't bear any more disappearances.
I get up and shake her hand.
She shakes your hand.
Oh, I say we go to the trapper's house first.
Sounds like a
good.
good
Agree.
start.
The guard, kind of seeing that you're heading out, escorts you guys back towards the door. Alright, okay, so that's where we'll leave this session then, with a plan of action.
Alright.
It's about
Nice.
3 hours and 10
Cool.
minutes, so it's a good spot to leave it before we get in the middle of something.
This was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. That was a good first session. Lots of fun new characters for the living world.
I liked your DMing.
Thank you.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Very atmospheric.
I agree.
I tried to put
Very
quite a bit
immersive.
of work into atmosphere, because there's quite a lot of things you can do with between Roll20 and the various things I have. So, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, chat was loving Norica during all of her interactions,
Yeah.
and I was as well.
I'm very happy for that.
Yeah, very very funny. She's awesome.
I was not watching chat. Let me go open that up. Oh, we've got more viewers now.
Yeah, some people filtered in and filtered back out. So we had a couple different people in here.
It was a pleasure playing for you, chat.
It was very fun. Even if I do have to work on my dialogue improvisation.
Yeah,
That's
me too, a little.
not the end of the world. Those things tend to kind of improve the longer you play, so don't sweat that stuff too much.
Learn to think more on your feet.
Just say the first thing that comes to mind. What could go wrong?
Huh.
Soon
I
enough,
wonder
you'll be
what that
buying
would be like.
hundreds and hundreds of golden pretzels.
Listen, it stocks. I told you.
Yeah.
I mean, you made her very happy, and nobody got her name.
Well,
That-
she's rich now, so
That's always funny to me.
I'm
Whenever
sure.
I name like every NPC, so Each of them has their own little like quirk and interesting thing, but every once in a while someone just gets skipped over and they never learn their name, which is always funny.
She's now Auntie Anne.
Oh, that's good.
Her name was actually Polka.
Oh.
It matches. It matches.
I got free pretzels. That's all I care about.
Me too.
You're welcome.
Best Minotaur.
I honestly expected everybody to just blow Polka off completely and not buy anything.
Like, pretzels. God, I hate pretzels. Get away from me.
I just figured you guys would be reluctant to spend any gold in your first session because you kind of want to hoard it. That seems to be
Until
kind of
free ones
how
were on the
players
table,
trend.
Until free ones were on the table, I was actually ready to barter down for 1 gold.
I thought that dude was gonna arrest me.
He's just an old fisherman. He doesn't have the power to.
Citizen's arrest.
Excuse me, this person was stealing children's wishes? That's
Hey.
wrong.
Hey, like I said, the wishes were already made.
I will
High
say.
treason!
Execution is imminent.
I will say, had you been a more religious type character, that might have had some effects on you. So something to think about.
Nah. Do what you want, because a pirate is free.
Yeah, without a deity watching over you, you're a little more free to do kind of things like that. But
The sea is my god.
some of the more lawful good deities would have been a little bit displeased with that.
A bunch of holy tight asses.
Tell that to Ender, our resident priest of Brava, cleric of Brava.
I will.
Same time next week, guys?
It works for me.
Works for me.
Sounds very fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then I'll schedule that out on Twitch too, so that people can see when that is.
Rad.
PogChamp.
If you guys have Twitch accounts, you can follow to be notified of when I go live with the other streams if you want to tune into those.
Oh no, next Tuesday's my birthday.
Oh, that's nice. So if it's your birthday when we're playing, you get birthday inspiration. I'm not kidding. You do.
You should tell that to my girlfriend's DM.
It only lasts for that session, so you better use it.
Got it.
Yeah, so if you have a Twitch account, follow us. And the other streams we do are Fridays and Sundays at the moment. Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern and Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Regarding the birthday inspiration, would that be like an unlimited inspiration for the entire session?
No, it's you get one inspiration for that session, and you should probably use it because it'll go away.
Sorry, man, I tried.
Just means you get to
loopholes.
You'll just get to re-roll something that you botch.
Yeah.
Well, I'm off for now.
All right.
All right.
Yes,
See
I
you
am
guys.
also going to go, but I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yep.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I'll see you guys.
See ya.
Take care,
See
everybody.
ya.
All right. Twitch chat. How you guys doing? Everybody have fun? Yeah, that was a really good first session. That was tons of fun. This is a really great group, and it seems like this will be a lot of fun too, to play this this campaign out. Lots of fun new characters. Their backstories and stuff will be interesting for you guys, especially because everybody seems to eventually have ties to each other, so it'll be interesting when those start to come up. And yeah, pretty diverse groups between my 3 campaigns that are running concurrently. This group has their own kind of identity, which is nice. There's the planners of the fresh meat. There's the the pure chaos that is the class of crows, and we'll see what these guys become. Hey, I'm trying to not be mean to you guys, alright? I think chaos is accurate. Yeah, these guys are these are Fortuna's beloved. She seems to be smiling on them with that many nat 20s. Jesus. To be fair, I did get one as well. So their luck is passing even to me. So yeah, I'm gonna add them to the Discord. Because there's a channel now for Hearth and Home. Yeah, so they'll be added to the Discord as well, and they'll have their own little channel from here on. All right. Yeah, you found it, Croak. I see you typing. They'll have their own voice channel for gameplay that we can use. It's nice to have more and more players, so. Hang on, they can't see it yet. I gotta add them first. Yeah. We have. I did go through and add a bunch of emotes. Oh yeah, I think I copy pasted it and didn't change it. Good point, Luno. Thank you. Forgot to. There we go. Fixed. Yeah, so I'll add them later tonight to the Discord. I was gonna say something else, and then I forgot. So this group will continue on Tuesdays at 7, and then they'll be added to the rotation. Yeah, we got a bunch of different BTTV emotes and also Frankerface C as well. So we got that's a pretty good one. So yeah, lots of different emotes. Eventually there'll be some more custom emotes, but that'll take its time. Yeah, we got our Kenrit one for now. That's all we need. Other than that, I think that's everything. So you guys have a good night. I need to go eat. Take care. Thanks for watching. Follow if you haven't, so we can get closer to custom emotes. But have a good night.